the two monkeys was playing.
Okay.
So the lady threw a rock at the monkey took off running. She said, must be nice. But then they walked past the lions. The lion was standing off to the side and the wife wasn't getting no attention from the lion. So the husband looked at her and said, you know what your problem is? He said, you only see things from a surface level. You don't look at the totality of the picture. So she said, what do you mean? He said, watch this. He took a rock and he threw it at the woman lion. The male lion jumped up and roared. But the little monkey who was playing and having so much fun, he took off running and left her for dead.
Okay.
But what he's trying to insinuate is, man, we react when it's necessary. But we don't overreact when it's not necessary. True men assess every situation and contemplate what is needed in this situation. And that's the healthy balance that a woman needs. Okay. And the healthy balance is the woman, she's able to assess situations. Like one thing I do give y'all flowers for, y'all have a great judgment of characters when it comes to your mate dating somebody, being around people. Y'all have a great at that.
Welcome to the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, starring Q the Boss.
Yo. Welcome back to another episode of Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. They call me Q the Boss. It's hard. What's going on, guys? We got the easiest job in the world. You won't even give me the same thing we do every week. You know what I'm saying? But now, guys, today we got our special guest, as always.
Hi, guys.
To my left,
Myra. You guys know me. I've been here before. Hello.
And to my right,
Shay.
dun, dun, dun. The diabolical one herself. So today's episode, ladies, and I'm asking, I'll start with Miss Myra. Do women hate structure?
Okay, you know me, right? Whenever we talk about something, so we have to get, I like a definition.
Okay.
So when you say structure, what are we defining? Lifestyle or what?
I would say structure from a man.
Structure from a man. Do women hate structure? Yes. I believe women hate structure that is not their own.
Wow.
If they can't control the narrative of the structure, they don't care for it.
That's why I love Myra. Myra be telling the truth. And let me ask you, do you feel the same way?
Same way as Myra feels.
But I'm in agreement with it. I think that a lot of women don't like structure. And I've come to the conclusion, the reason why I feel so is because it's hard where I think like when you have like a mother and a father demographics in the house, I think that the father is usually the person that gives the structure, right? The mom enforces it and keeps it that way, but the dad usually sets what it is. I do believe that a lot of women have a hard time with taking advice from a man when they didn't have a man in their house. So I do believe that some of them are rebelling because their mothers put that rebellious spirit in them and taught them how to not understand how to be submissive to any kind of constructive criticism, any kind of opinion. For instance, the other day I watched a video, the lady said, I wouldn't date you because you're too short. And he responded and said, I wouldn't date you because she's fat. She said, you body shaming me. And I'm looking like, what? You just called him short. Something he can't change, but you can change your weight. But she didn't see it that way. Because again, I do believe that we live in a time now where more people are so adamant about their feelings opposed to what's logical. How would you guys feel about that?
But, you know, it can be difficult, though, because some men, they don't come from structure.
I agree.
So how can they even build a foundation themselves?
Agree.
Because, you know, men, unfortunate in our community, a lot of men have grew up without their fathers in their lives. Mm-hmm. So now, where did they learn structure from? They come into your home and they want to create chaos instead of structure. So I believe it is a learned behavior, learning either from your own experience or having a role model to show you exactly what structure is. Because I feel like a lot of these men are not interested in structure. They're interested in creating chaos. That's just my personal opinion.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I agree with that. But I'm going to let you say what you got to say first.
I'm just listening to you guys.
I do believe that there are a lot of men that are chaos creators. And a lot of them definitely don't know how to lead a household. Today, me and my guys were actually talking, and I said to them, I don't just consider myself a man anymore. And he said, what do you consider yourself? I said, I want to up the standard. So therefore, we can have a level of requirements of what's considerably a good man. I consider myself a king. And the reason why I say that is because too many men run around here using this title, man, and then I fall into the same criteria as them, and they don't even meet the same level of criteria that I meet for myself. And yet and still I get judged by them and their behavior when I'm nowhere near like them. And I'm like, you know what? Let's up the requirement. For now on, I'm considering myself a king. I'm 100% king. And I believe that a real woman should consider herself a true queen if she knows she don't carry herself like these chicken heads running around here.
I agree. So if you guys have not watched the previous episodes, I would hope that you have watched and tuned in. These two, they're on their best behavior today. So if it seems like it's just me and Q having a debate, everything is good, okay? We're just going to put that disclaimer out there.
She gonna talk.
She's going to talk, but, she's just behaving herself right now.
Behaving myself, guys.
Yeah, she's behaving.
So happy to be here. Hope everyone is enjoying their Sunday thus far.
So guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. When today,
honesty is his thing.
Yeah, well, I like to be honest. I don't like the law because I want to be able to come back and someone put an episode in my face and I'm like, I still stand on that. Right? I do believe that. I do leave room for error, but in the same breath.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
But again, I'm a very logical person.
Right.
And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I definitely believe I'm very logical. I do believe that. I give you a story the other day. One of the little girl, she wouldn't apologize, and she started crying. And when she started crying, the mother said, "All right, come on, let's go." And I looked at her and I said, "No, you do not let her walk away without apologizing, because all you're gonna teach this 4-year-old how to be a 40-year-old who don't know how to apologize." I said, so basically you're programming her where she has no accountability, where she feels like she's always right, and all she gotta do is whine her way out of a situation. And I'm like, you're not teaching her a healthy adulting at a younger age. You're programming her to when she gets to adulthood, she's gonna create this same argument or fighting or combativeness because of the fact that she learned that at an early age. I do believe that in our culture today, people hate accountability because they weren't taught accountability. So anytime you hold them accountable, it seems like you're attacking them, opposed to having a disagreement or I don't agree with you. And they take it like you're attacking them, right?
I agree with that. I do agree with that. Accountability is something we all struggle with it.
100%.
I struggle with it. It's so hard when you have to turn the mirror around and look at yourself and really take, accountability for the things that you do and the things that you say.
I agree.
I agree, Myra.
I agree.
I had a, quick story time, just for something real quick. I had these two friends, Shay knows the story, and I had said something very mean and nasty about them. And I wound up getting back to them. And I was backed into a corner. And they said, "Did you say this?" And it forced me to be like, I did. I said it, and I'm sorry. But you know what? To this day, we're still friends. Why? Because I apologized. And I said, listen, I said something that was very mean. Whenever you're ready to repair or mend this friendship, I'm always here. Because I had to take accountability. That was my fault. So it's hard to be accountable for our actions. Because we all feel like we're always right. Right?
But it's a teaching that you think like that. When a person thinks that they're always right, it means they think they're perfect then. Because again, if you think you're perfect, of course, because I do believe that feelings have surpassed logic so much that most people aren't even logical. They're very emotionally based people. Like I listen to some people that tell me something, I'm like, it don't make sense to me. Like for instance, we had a conversation last episode and I was saying that a woman can't tell me.
I felt like it was going there.
No, but let me just finish.
Feelings and
I do have a feeling.
that.
A conversation was that a lot of women do believe that they can tell a man how to be a man and they've never been a man. And I feel like to be disheartening because it's like, what do you really know about a man? In most cases, we have to say we're in the 70 percentile. So 70% of men don't have fathers. 70% of girls don't have fathers, right? So that means if we're in the 70 percentile, that means 70% of women, the only outlook on, and men, the only outlook on being a man is television, social media, because they don't have examples. So when you really have a conversation, I'm like, where is your reference? So when you're telling me what is a good man, I know what a good man is because I am a good man. So when I tell people that that's a good man, I would hope that person would have a level of like, yo, he kind of know what he's saying because he is one. It takes one to know one. I think the thotties know the thotties. I think the bums know the bums. I think that, people that in line with each other tend to be with each other. Would you agree with that statement?
I agree, Q.
What you got? I love it. This is the best episode.
I agree. I
know?
do agree with that. But I'm gonna have to challenge you a little bit.
I'll take it.
Whoa, Myra, what are you doing?
Let's get it.
Be careful. Be careful.
What's a good man?
A good man is a person that can create structure. Not only create structure, hold itself to what you preach. Stand on consistency, very disciplined. Make sure you emphasize on leading by example. I'm not gonna tell you to be this and I'm not this. It don't make sense. And also having a date, a time stamp to when you're trying to arrive to a destination that you want a woman to follow you. I'm not gonna tell my woman to follow me and I'm gonna lead her to nowhere. And I respect women who rebel, and I'm gonna say this on record, I respect women who rebel against men who haven't reached manhood who are trying to get in relationships. I don't blame them. Because reality is, every time that woman looks at you, she's not seeing a man, and then you're mad at her for not seeing a man, and you don't want to work on yourself. A man is a constant practice and a constant discipline that you have to do every single day. Because it's a job that you have to understand. In most cases, most real men, we don't get flowers until we pass away.
I have a question. So yes, being a man is a job. It is a hard job. One of the hardest jobs.
Yes.
But you don't think being a woman is also a job in itself?
I think it is, but let me say this statement. I do believe that the world gives you so much grace.
Like what?
Can I finish?
Like what?
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Go ahead, Q.
The world gives y'all so much grace. And I'm going to tell you why. Mm-hmm. A woman could work at the 99-cent store, be 40 years old on welfare, and she can be considered a woman. If a man is 40 years old on welfare, he is a bum to the world. A man on the bus, he doesn't have money, he's a bum. A woman on the bus, she's doing the best she can do. The world gives y'all so much more grace. A man gets judged so much harder. And that's why I do have a level of reserve for men, because if most women had to meet the same requirements of what a man is to be considered an adult, a lot of women will be considered bums.
But we meet different requirements, though, and women get judged on different things. So maybe men
Like what?
do get judged on, can I finish? Mm-hmm. So maybe men get judged on their jobs and stuff. Women get judged, like you were saying, the thotties know the thotties, on bodies, on... There's so many things that I feel like people judge women on. Now, one of the last episodes that Q and I did...
Don't leave this topic yet, because I got something to ask you.
Excuse me?
Don't leave it yet. I got something to ask you before you leave this. Hold on. I want to know something else. What you were saying? I want to ask you something. Let's remove everything superficial, right?
Okay.
Superficial in the sense of looks.
Okay.
Okay, that's what a woman gets judged based on. Looks, right? Beauty.
Okay.
When we're talking about, it is harder to be judged based on your credentials. Because you could be born with beauty, but you cannot be born in most cases with money. Mm-hmm. And you don't have a choice of that.
Okay, but that's within a man. Within a woman, whatever she's judged on is what it is for her. So I live the women live the women life. So if we're being judged on our beauty, that's us. If you guys are being judged on your credentials, that's you. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think both paths cross at the end of the day. Now, going back to what I was saying last...
I got one more thing to say about it.
You have more? Okay, of course.
Why do you think in most cases women lose value as they get older?
Why do I think we lose value?
Yes, to the men.
Is it because of our looks? Is it our age? What is it that makes us lose value?
No, I'm asking you, what do you think?
I don't know. You tell me, Kill.
It's age. And the reason why is because women are born with value. Right. A man is not considered valuable until he becomes valuable. Mm-hmm. A woman is born with value. Women have their highest tenure to find the greatest valued man in their earlier years than in their older years, because of the fact that they're born with value. Mm-hmm. A man is not looked at as valuable until he becomes valuable. Mm-hmm. And therefore, this is why I say it's not really fair. But it is fair because a man, as he ages, he becomes more valuable in the dating market as long as his life is together. Mm-hmm. And that's it's just the standards of society. I don't create the rules. I just had to learn
And I understand you, but I'm saying just as you said that, what you saying with a woman with her age, you don't think that poses something for us where now you're like, oh shoot, as we get older, now we're less valuable. That's whether it's credentials or not for you or age, whatever for us, it's still two things that we're battling. So I'm saying what makes one better or worse or I mean, they may be different, but you get what I'm saying? Like for a woman, that's now my hang-ups. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, getting older, just like you said, we lose value as we get older. It's like the clock is ticking for you to find somebody good. But I feel like a lot of you guys, to get off topic, pose. Me and Mara was saying this, that you come to a lot of women with your credentials and then get mad when women hold men to that standard.
I agree.
Where you have a man that the way he confronts a woman or the way he presses a woman is with his car and his money and his this. So it's like, is she really a gold digger, or is she trying to maintain the life that you introduced her to? You didn't come to her as a bum working at the 99-cent store on welfare. You came to her as you were doing the most, and now she expects the most. So whose fault is that? Is that mine or yours? And as far as men, I remember you saying that men have to prove their value in terms of like, okay, well, you have Father's Day where you're like, what do men get in Mother's Day? But I feel like there aren't many things that men do that women can't do. Women can learn to fix cars. Women can provide structure in the home. Women can do, I mean, I'm just saying, you have women mechanics. You have women that do a lot of male jobs. But whether it's far or few, it's possible. There are things that are impossible for you to do. You cannot get pregnant. You cannot give birth.
You can't get pregnant without a man. Without my semen, you can't get pregnant.
You're absolutely right, but that's the easiest job. Carrying a child for 9 months.
No, only went off what you said.
That's the easiest job.
No, but I only went off what she said. She said that you can do things that we can't do. A woman can't get pregnant without a man's semen.
You're absolutely right, but you don't need to sleep with a man. You go to a sperm bank and get the sperm cube.
You're still getting it from a man.
At the end of the day,
you can't get food from a garden and then say that it's because of the garden.
Let's make it make sense. We're not talking about food in a garden. We're talking about a baby.
No,
a woman can go to
a sperm bank and get semen from a man still.
You're absolutely right, but we're the ones that's carrying the child for 9 months. For 9 months, our bodies, our physical, our mental, afterbirth. Like when you say that men don't get credit and men aren't considered valuable, but it's kind of like, well, what do we get for that? You said there's no prize. No, I don't want a question. I want to make my point. You said there's no prize in being a man, but what is the prize in being a woman? What is it that we get from being a woman? What's our reward?
Look at this logic, right? You take a man, right? And you go to family court, right? We all know that a woman is never held to the same legal obligations as a man when it comes to family court. There are so many women, and I'm not talking about you guys, that weaponize and use the children against their fathers, and we know this to be normal. We all know people that go through this. But yet and still, let it be a woman. Go to family court right now and let your child's mother not show up, right? She's not gonna be held in contempt. They're gonna issue a warrant within seconds to get me locked up. What I'm trying to say is society holds so much. In most cases, when a police officer pulls up to a house and there's a domestic dispute, the first person they're looking to arrest is a man. And there are a lot of crazy girls out here who will beat themselves up and throw themselves on the floor and do something diabolical.
I agree with that.
But the sad part is, the man, that's why I have so much more empathy for men, because the reality, the requirements of being one is held to a high standard. It is extreme. Most girls aren't women.
It is the man, so it's kind of just like going with
No,
the norm.
I'm going to take that back. You know why I don't agree with you?
Is.
Because most men don't report domestic violence. Most men don't report RAPE either.
Why would you call?
You know that?
Why would you call?
Did you hear that term? RAPE. Most men don't report that.
Why would you call the police to say you just someone?
Who don't say the word? I said that for purpose. It's going to cut us. But what I'm trying to say, RAPE, most men don't report it.
But why would a man report that?
Because he was.
Oh, it's saying a man. It happening to
it happens
a man.
To men too.
Yeah, but how
you see
often
how
is
those no
that
empathy for it? That's crazy.
How often is that happening, though? Come on.
Most young guys, I'm going to be honest with you, our first sexual encounters be with older women.
But you feel like...
Did you hear that? That went right over the room.
You know what's
that
crazy?
Went re-room. That went re-room.
I hear that a lot. But you know what I hear it? The PDF files. Can you move this, Q? This stick keep busting me. Thank you. That's okay. Thank you.
But I feel like you have a lot of these boys that enjoy that they wanted that encounter, no? With the older women, no?
You talking for men, no.
I'm asking.
Again,
isn't that a thing where men is like, it was with my teacher. It was with an older woman.
The whole concept of
RAPE
is meaning someone is taking advantage of you.
Right.
Whether you like or don't like it, it's a person that's taking advantage of someone. Whether male or female, it's wrong. Right? And a lot of times the person don't have the legal age of consent. So regardless, it makes it illegal. They're not at a legal age of consent, whether it's a male or a female. We're just talking fair.
But but you can't talk fair while being unfair. In a situation where you have, let's say, a 13 or 14-year-old boy that engages in, a sexual
choice
with a older woman, right? Let's say she's 25, and he is enjoying it, and he is like, okay, she's an older woman, and he had that experience. Are you considering it the same thing, though? I'm not even looking. I don't care what they're saying.
I will
I'm
say
just
this.
asking you. Is it the same thing as a woman who a man is forcing her?
No, but
and
you're
taking
talking
it
about a
from her?
consensual decision, whether underage or not. We're talking about someone who is being cornered. There are situations where most men don't get sex to the magnitude of what people put in the box. Most men do not get sex like that. Most men.
But a lot of
Who
time,
just
are these
is-
women cornering these younger boys to just force it on them, or is it?
Yes, it happens between both. You know that right now that you notice that more people say, yo, watch your sons also? Because they're getting touched also. It's both sides. Takes advantage too. It goes both ways. Sickness is not a male or female thing, it's a person thing. Crazy people are crazy people. But the issue is society has come so empathetic on women that they can't picture a woman doing that to a guy. And again, most of us who lost our V's at very younger ages definitely had very more mature, experienced women who taught us. A guy that smokes was introduced by someone that smokes. It's just what it is. Like we have to, like, if we're gonna have empathy, you can't have empathy from one side. You gotta have empathy from for both sides, but in the same breath, the only reason why it seems like I tend to be heavy on the man's side is because y'all don't have to meet the same requirements. If I held my daughter to the same standards as my son, like for instance, if my daughter's out right now, I'm worried about her getting home faster than I'm worried about my son. I'm gonna worry about him getting home by himself. But I'm gonna go out my way to make sure I get her here. You understand what I'm saying? And society is like that on women. But if you really look back, like for instance, a man broken down on the road in his car, most people are gonna ride past him. He has the same problem as the woman, but they're gonna ride right past him. And then they're gonna keep saying equal rights and equal. It's not equal, it's only equal when it benefits women. And I hate to say this, feminists have this mentality where it's only equal when it benefits the woman. If you wanna be equal, get up on the roof and fix the chimney. You want to be equal, come outside and shovel with me. You want to be equal, do everything equal. Don't pick and choose what's fair and what's not fair. If we're going to be fair across the board. We can't say there's no gender roles, but then you expect your man to go shovel. You sound crazy to me. So that's what I can't stand about this whole feminist movement. It creates sick mentalities, and they pick and choose. There was a whole island, Kenzie showed me, they had a whole woman island, a whole island of women. Guess who built the infrastructure? The men. And then guess what happened? The whole situation got clogged up. Guess what they called in to fix it again? The man. We have to accept that women y'all have very good gifts at which y'all gifted at. I think y'all are very, very organized. There's a lot of things I know for a fact I need about women. And there's a lot of things you guys add value to my podcast. And I understand that. And I'm comfortable with that. But you seem to have a problem with a woman thinking that a man can't be greater than certain things she's not great at. There's a lot of things men are greater than women at. 90% of women can't beat men.
I agree with that.
They can't beat them. If there was no such thing as police, most women wouldn't even come out their face. Because they're going to lose. We just talking logic. But again, I would never teach my daughter to jump in a man's face and be reactive opposed to being logical. You cannot beat him. You beat him by leaving him. You beat him by taking away things from him. Your accessibility. But you don't beat this man jumping up in his face. I'm not teaching my daughters that ratchet crap. And talking about anything a man can do, I can do better. You sound crazy because anything a woman do, I can't do better. And I think I'm a very masculine, strong man. I know I need a woman. And I know they're good at a lot of good things. But society has created this sick mentality.
So what do you think, in your opinion, you said men need women.
Yes.
Give some examples.
I think men, we supposed to buy the home, the woman's supposed to make it a home.
Okay.
And I think that's a great gift y'all have. A lot of energy in the house is based on how the woman feels. And the one thing I hate is when you talk to most men, and being that I'm in a business where I talk to a lot of men, a lot of times when a woman she's not happy, she brings that energy to the man and she brings it in the house. Mm-hmm. Which is crazy that we have to deal with it, which is a level of narcissism, but I'm gonna just take that on another conversation, right? But again, the thing I do see that's valued by a woman is is naturally supposed to be nurturing. Right. A woman is the extreme balance of a man. Right. I'm not gonna come into a situation, like for instance, there's a story of the wife and the husband was walking through the zoo, and the wife threw a rock at the monkey. The monkey took off running and left the wife there, the woman monkey there. She said, look at these kind of men are like this. Then they walked past, no, I'm lying. She went past the lions first. She threw the rock at the lion, and the lion didn't flinch at it. No, I'm capping. Let me say it right.
Get it together.
Hold on. It was a monkey. It was the monkey first. The two monkeys was playing.
Okay.
So the lady threw a rock at the monkey. The monkey took off running. She said, must be nice. But then they walked past the lions. The lion was standing up to the side, and the wife wasn't getting no attention from the lion. So the husband looked at her and said, you know what your problem is? He said, you only see things from a surface level. You don't look at the totality of the picture. So she said, what do you mean? He said, watch this. He took a rock and he threw it at the woman lion. The male lion jumped up and roared. But the little monkey who was playing and having so much fun, he took off running and left her for dead.
Okay.
But what he's trying to insinuate is, men, we react when it's necessary. But we don't overreact when it's not necessary. True men assess every situation and contemplate what is needed in this situation. And that's the healthy balance that a woman needs. Okay. And the healthy balance is the woman, she's able to assess situations. Like, one thing I do give y'all flowers for, y'all have a great judgment of characters when it comes to your mate dating somebody, being around people. Y'all have a great at that. Y'all ill at it. God gave y'all a gift. A woman can smell doo-doo a mile away.
Yes.
She be like, he is trash. She could, I don't know how, that's a gift y'all got. And again, as a man, I accept that, because if I'm you my homegirl, you my homegirl. If I bring you around, you be like, yo, Q, stay away from. I'm gonna take that into a very, very much account, because I know that you have a gift. That's that nurturing. You smell something funny. And that's the thing I do see, that when God created man and woman, he created it with a healthy balance.
You made a reference to lions, right?
Okay.
And it kind of stuck with me, right? So yes, lions are the protectors, but the lionesses are the hunters. Okay. Right? We're the ones that go out, we hunt the prey. This is what we do. So I believe that when it comes to, men, yes, we need y'all for certain things, but we are so much more smarter than y'all. We are way more strategic. Self-sufficient. And I agree with you when I say women need men and men need women. I am one of those women where I think
you guys need us more than we need you.
Can I say something about that?
I think men need women more than women need men.
Can I say something though?
That is my opinion.
Can I say something though?
And I don't care what y'all say on that screen.
Can I say something?
Not even looking over
Can
there.
I say something though?
What?
Emotionally, y'all are the most codependent creatures on earth.
Y'all emotional too. There's a lot of emotional men.
Listen, it's not a competition. All I just said, y'all are the most emotionally codependent creatures on earth.
How can you say y'all and it's not a competition?
No, because I'm just saying it's a fact. Most women will always have a level of an outlet that's usually on another person. That's emotional codependency. When I'm calling you, telling you, Myra, and you did this, that's codependency. Why
you slapping your leg?
Because you do that. You do that. That's what you do. But I'm just saying that's how y'all are. So emotionally codependent is in a sense of needing someone to vent to basically pour your bleeding onto. Okay. That's why I truly believe women outlive men, because men were taught that it's hyper feminine to be vulnerable, and I think that's cap. I think that's why a lot of men are literally passing away very early, because of the fact that they don't have the outlets to be able to release. Most women will always have an outlet of release. Whether it's going to be on me, whether it's going to be on her friend, whether it's going to be on her mama,
so why
whether it's
don't
going to be
men
on
have
aunt.
An outlet to release?
Because y'all, and not y'all, not you, society has made us feel like that is sassy. If a man is vulnerable, he's sassy. And that's the issue with the problem that we have. A lot of the times, if someone said men gossip, those men that gossip, they come from gossiping mothers.
Do you feel like a lot of men want women to be their peace while you guys take away ours?
I do believe there are men that take away women's peace. But true men don't take away peace, we bring peace. Because most men are very easygoing. And
by bringing peace, what is it that you feel like some men do that bring peace in their household?
We take away a lot of the responsibilities economically.
In terms of?
Take away a lot of responsibilities economically. One of the number one separation problems in today's society is economics. One of the number one reasons adultery is actually taking a third, opposed to number one is finances. So therefore, if a person is taking an extreme burden off you financially, that is your stress levels being extremely down.
So do you believe that a man's job is to be a provider?
100%.
Oh.
100%.
Because last week you said 50-50. So
no, I said more healthy relationships will be 50-50 today because of the expense of the world today. Okay. It's not that he's a bad man. It's the expense of the world. Most people compare their grandfathers who had pictures in black and white to today we have digital photos. You're comparing a different time to a different time. It's not that same house that your grandfather got for $100,000, you got to buy for $750. Right, so if your grandfather's mortgage was $1,000 a month, yours is $7,000 a month. So reality is, even though the income hasn't increased much, you still have the responsibility economically to meet a certain level. And it's just not easy on nobody. It's not a man or a woman thing.
So
it's just financially it's expensive.
Last week, Myra, you weren't here. So Q and I we were having a discussion about submission and being submissive. You know, that's always a big topic with Q. So we were talking about being submissive. And I think I said what I said, but I got a little misconstrued because I think my thing was to Q where when he brought up 50-50 and I said that if we're together, husband and wife, couple or whatever, and we're both going out and we're 50-50 in terms of working and paying the bills. Now, I feel like typically, since Q goes y'all and men and women, I think typically once we come home, the woman now has a second job to do. She has to now be a mother. She has to figure out kids and the dinner and the this. Is typically the woman that's cleaning the house, that's making sure everything. So my thing and then was submission to me kind of, yes, there's two parts of it. There's a part where it feels like, you know, you're giving up that control to the man. But I feel like there are a lot of men in this day and age that are sassier than us, that I feel like I would never let them lead me because they just don't, no. You get what I'm saying? But I said to Q, like, I feel like expecting a woman now after we've both worked, we're both financially responsible for this household. I come home, I have to now bear the burden of the second shift, taking care of the kids, figuring out dinner, figuring out everything. A lot of times women will cook and they don't even eat. They're the last people to eat. They don't even sit at the table. They're the last ones to go to sleep and the first ones to wake up, right? And I said, sometimes a man now expecting her to kind of be in this softness I use in terms of like giving him that love and that attention and babe and how was your this and how was your, and even be ready for intimacy. It's kind of unfair because it's a imbalance created where it's like, so you want us to both work. So now I feel like we two people working. Now we come home, you have an expectation of me you need a home cooked meal. You don't want the kids running to you. Daddy, Daddy, can you help me with this? You go to your mom, a lot of dads do say that as well. Go to your mother. But where do you don't think women get tired too? You don't think that we're undervalued? You don't think we're underappreciated? You feel like we're rewarded? I'm not done. You feel like we get the credit that we deserve for being women, and you want us to give you that respect and that submissiveness. But I feel like I said, a lot of men want women to be their piece, but they take away ours. A lot of times we are exhausted, but we still have to function.
Okay, can I say something else? I think.
What you said, Tyler?
Can you get my glasses?
I think a person right now, right, that genuinely believes that being in a relationship, right, and living by themselves, paying 100% of bills, is better than being with somebody that pays half your bills. I think they're on a level of slow on a whole nother spectrum. I think they rode a little bus by themselves and they got dropped. Just listen to me though. I'm gonna tell you why it don't make sense. Even from an economical situation, it don't even make sense. When you listen to these people that say that, I think this is an acceptance of being by themselves.
People that say what?
Because they by themselves. Oh, I would never do 50. You single. That's why you talk like that. You gotta do 100%. What I'm trying to say is reality is if I'm in a house and I'm struggling to do 100%, and I meet someone who says, hey, I want to take half of your stress away from you, and you think that's not feasible?
Here we go.
Hold on, let me finish. The reason why I say that is because most healthy relationships in 2026 are two people that bring it all to the table.
Understood.
That's the only way it works.
But I'm not saying that's wrong, Myra. I'm just saying that a man expectation, even after that, they will require more from us still. You know what I'm saying? You come home. Again,
women exaggerate.
I'm sorry. Exaggerate?
I'm gonna tell you why. Can I tell you why?
Fair. What do you mean we exaggerate?
Because most women don't clean up to the magnitude of our grip.
Let me finish. How you could talk for most women?
I say you. I didn't say you. Take away you.
Talking for
most women don't clean up because all my homeboys got girls. All the guys I'm around date.
Right. Most women don't clean.
They don't clean to the magnitude of every day they cleaning up. That's cap. It's cap.
No, it's not.
Yo, listen.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead,
most women do not. And I'm going to say this on record. Most women do not clean up every single day.
Lies.
Most women do not cook every single day.
Lies.
Come on, this is not true.
And you know I keep it 100.
You saying so if you got 10 friends, all your friends cook and clean?
Every day I am cleaning my house.
It you.
Okay.
We're talking about most women. If it's 10 women in a room, most women do not cook and clean every day.
Thank you.
I
I said, why do you keep talking? You talking for other
disagree with
people
that.
to sit here and say most
I
women don't do
disagree
that
with
is crazy.
that. I
Because if we sat here right now and have a logical conversation and said most men say most women don't cook no more these days.
So
hold
when-
on, we're gonna ignore these men who are talking from their personal lens and experience. So if it's smoke, there's clearly a fire. If you can't see the fire, that means you're just ignoring it.
We're not talking about
Come on.
a full deep cleaning every day. No, we're not talking
Look,
about
I don't
that.
cook every day.
But
We know that.
I clean my house every day. I'm either wiping or sweeping.
Again,
or
remove
picking
you.
up.
Yo, that means every man is rich. I'm rich. Every man is rich. Every
But
man is
we
wealthy.
talk- we not
Every
talking
man is
about
We're
money.
not saying that it's
Because I can't keep
talking
making me the
about
standard
cleaning.
though.
See, but you're missing the
But
point.
I keep
The
saying
point
you
is not saying
can't
women
make
do
you
it
the
every day.
standard.
It's saying the woman is
No,
the one that's
you may do it every
expected
day.
to do that.
And
The woman
that's a
is
different conversation.
expected- But that's what
a different
I'm saying. The
No, but
woman
I'm just saying is most
expected
women
to-
don't do that every day.
Q. Okay.
Most women don't do that every day.
Okay.
Every day.
Q, I'm not saying
Yo, most
every
women are not
day.
walking home
You're
from a-
missing my point. I'm not saying that every single woman cooks and cleans every day. I'm saying the expectation.
Then why the hell we still having this
the
conversation?
expectation.
I
when-
just said that.
The expectation after both going to work and coming home, the woman is the one that you're looking at to figure out what we going to eat. If the house needs to be cleaned, Q, are you in here cleaning your house and cooking?
I would
I'm
rather
just
pay a
asking-
maid to do it. I'll pay a maid to do it. That's why don't make me the standard, because it's not fair. I'm gonna call a maid to come over right now. It's not fair if I make me the standard. We talking general. Most women do not cook like their grandparents. Most women do not clean to the magnitude of their grandparents. And if you said a lot of them are more busy now, I would say I agree. I would say that I agree. But to believe that a woman is coming in from work and start putting on her apron, you smoking, man. Get out of here. It's not reality.
Okay.
It's not reality.
That's so
It's
crazy.
not reality.
That's so and this goes to show how you guys really don't appreciate women, and you really feel like women ain't ish.
No,
Like, you
I didn't
really
say
feel
that. I
like-
said
you
most
really feel
women
like-
do not walk in the house and start
Q,
cleaning.
I'm not saying that every woman walks in the house and nobody is saying.
Yo, hold on,
Nobody is saying that a
Tyler.
woman walks in the
Now
house.
be fair. Didn't the conversation stem from me saying that most women do not walk in the house? She said they do.
Yes, they
That's how the
oversaturated.
conversation
It's
went.
oversaturated.
What are you talking
I
about?
said that
I
women
don't think she
are
be
the
hearing
ones
herself
that's
what she say.
expected to do it more. So
That's
when
not what
we
you said.
come
You
home,
changed it afterwards.
when we come home, we're the ones that y'all expect to do that. When if both of us are in a 50-50 household where we're both working, I'm saying to you when we come home, the woman is expected to be the one to cook, to clean, to do all of that. Never did I say a woman does it every single day. I'm saying
Did
our
she didn't- I
second
said that.
half of the
Tell the
job
truth.
starts
No, answer that.
when
did
we
you
come
say-
don't lie,
home.
Myra. Did she
y'all
not say
said
that,
you
Myra?
said every day.
No,
Y'all
I
said
said
every
it.
day.
I
Yes.
said it. I said
I did
every
not
day.
say that. You're not going to tell me
'Cause
what
I
I said.
do
I
clean
said it
every
5
day.
times. I said most women, I'm going to say this from the beginning of the time, do not walk in the
said it.
house and clean up the house every day. And
Now you
most
said
women
Myra said
do
it
not
every day.
cook
First it
every
was
day.
me.
And
I
I
didn't say
said I
that.
do, and
I
you
didn't say
said
that.
that that's me, and I can't hold myself to the standard.
No,
correct?
because you know
Okay.
you know why I said that? Because there are situations where the man is the cook.
Yes.
There are situations where the man is more cleansier than the woman.
Oh, now that's
Kenzie.
true.
Kenzie.
Very true.
Look, there's one right there. Raise your hand again. There
But
you
you-
go.
it feels
So
like you
hold on.
wanna have
The reason
this-
why I said that because I knew, right? But what I'm trying to say is, I do know that women aren't as cleansy as our grandparents was.
Thank you.
Men
That's rare.
aren't as financially responsible
That's rare.
as my grandfather was. So if
Okay.
you said that to me, I agree. Most men aren't as equivalent
Q,
as
why
our
can't you
grandparents.
just give women credit? Like, why can't
What
you
the
just
hell?
give us credit and ever say that you love
Wow.
women, you appreciate what we do?
Wow.
Why is it that I feel like it's a battle of men versus women, and it's what y'all doing, what we do?
No,
Why
because you
can't it
listen to
just be
respond, you don't listen to hear.
appreciate- No,
because you
I
just
was listening
agreed.
to
You
the whole
agreed. No,
time.
the whole time you argued with me when I said that most women do not walk in the house, cook and clean. And then I said, you guys got to stop putting yourself as the general, because if I make me the general standard of a man, every man is good. And I said, so with that being said, you have to realize that when we having these discussions, you can't make you the standard.
But
because,
you can't
hold on,
say
you know
most
that
women,
most women.
you don't know most women to say that.
Oh my God.
So you said you said
No, I don't. Are you smoking? You're mad because I'm not agree. You cannot say most women. You don't know most women
you
to make
said
that
you said
statement.
okay, if you're doing 50-50, you're not giving the submission and the
I
role.
did not say
Hold on,
that.
Tyler,
I
hold
did
on.
not say that.
A minute ago, didn't she just say that these men aren't this and these men aren't that, right?
These men
But
are
hold on,
what?
hold-
What did I say,
hold on,
Tyler?
hold
These
on.
men are
The
what?
reason I'm asking this question.
What did
So
I
when
say?
she could generalize men, right? It's okay when she generalized
You
men.
said a minute ago, I said
You don't
these
ever
men
let me
are this.
finish.
What did I say?
When she generalized men, it's okay.
Tyler,
But anytime I make a
what did I
generalization,
say?
Myra, be fair, Myra. Anytime she generalized
Tyler
men,
don't
hold on,
even know what I
you can't
said.
let finish because you go
You know
talk.
what I said.
Myra, we didn't even gotta go there because we can always review the tape. We record everything. We watch it all the time.
Okay.
She generalizes men all the time, and then when you generalize, every time you talk, she just talks over you, right? Every time you generalize men, it's okay. But the moment you generalize a woman, it's a problem. And that's narcissism, Sister Soldier. I'm just being honest with you. Extreme.
So I have a question.
Because again, you're gonna create a standard. These men are these men are these days, and
so
these men are these
you
days.
don't generalize women. What did I say?
said I do.
Hold on. Can you stop? Can you stop for a second? He said that I said most men this and most men that. What did I say? I want you to tell me what I said.
Let's move on, guys.
Tyler has no idea what
I
I said.
got a question. All right, so let's talk about a question. I got a question. I want to ask you. So how come most women? Why do you have to like get brought into a soft girl side? Shouldn't you naturally just be soft and
that sound
naturally?
Crazy as hell.
That sounds crazy. Like you should naturally like that's responsibilities, cleaning up and having. That's the responsibilities of life and being soft and giving.
What
a love.
You mean we should naturally be that? Why? Why is that a natural thing? If I'm getting the energy,
I have to give you money for you to be soft and submissive.
You know what that comes from? Hold on. You know what that comes from? Let me answer that.
You get what I'm saying, Q?
So when we say soft girl, that's because that's a woman.
Wow.
A lot of us are very hyper independent. Do you know? You guys know what hyper independent means. That means we've had to take care of things for our whole life. We've had to be the ones to take charge. So we want to kind of step out of that sometimes. Sometimes women want to turn. I like to turn my brain off when I'm with my man. I don't want to think about nothing. I don't want to have no responsibilities right now. So that's what we mean when we say step into our soft girl. Can we take that hyper independence and always having to use our brains and strategize and come up with problem solving? Can we take a break from that? That's what we mean when we say soft girl.
Can a man ever do that? Can a man ever do that? Can a man ever do that?
And being his soft.
So a man saying, "Hey, a woman gotta meet me in my feminine energy, and when she showed me that she's good, I'll be masculine." That sounds crazy.
But what's wrong with that? That's
crazy.
the difference. Once again, that is a woman and a man standard that we are allowed to be soft. I'm not saying men are not allowed to be soft, but y'all are masculine for a reason. Y'all have testosterone for a reason. We have estrogen for a reason.
I agree with that.
So therefore, y'all have y'all standards and the way y'all are genetically made and y'all DNA to process information and to process emotions. Women, we have our way that we are made. We are supposed to be soft. We are supposed to be feminine. This is who we are naturally, biologically.
I tell any man, you're looking for a woman, make sure you find a woman that has a level of logic that you can sit down and can take constructive criticism without getting on the defense. Because a lot of times in today's society, everything is about combativeness, argumentative. You can't lead what's not leadable, and you can't coach what's not coachable. There are a lot of women these days that's gonna have to die alone, and I feel bad for them because I'm being honest, in my culture, all I do is see argumentative, combative women who believe that they're more men than men, and they pick and choose when to be men, and when things get too rocky, they look for somebody to bail them out every time. A man don't have that leisure of being able to be bailed out. We have to figure it out in all case. Right now, in most cases, if a woman is financially going through something, she can find somebody to tell her little sob story to and look for a bailout. A man don't have that luxury. He don't have that luxury and then be considerably looked at as a man. It's just what it is. If you have twins, a boy and a girl, and they're the same age, men and women will always be harder on the boy. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. And if I'll tell my men, don't get in a relationship until you get your life together. Anybody watch my content knows I tell them that. The reason being is because the requirements a lot of these women have is either delusional, diabolical, and crazy. Because again, a lot of these men are broke because of the fact that they are too busy trying to give a woman a lifestyle that her daddy didn't even give her. Your daddy didn't even give you this. I don't know who created that standard when they said that a man's supposed to love you like your dad did. A man could never love my daughter like me. It's impossible. And I could never love a woman like I love my mother. Because you met me whole. My mother took me when I was empty and made me whole. So how the hell am I gonna look at a woman and love her how I'm gonna love my mother when you met me whole and my mother took me and loved me when I wasn't whole?
But a lot of men out here are looking for women to be their mom and not their partner. So a lot of these women are getting projects and not partners.
But they sleeping with these guys.
There's a lot of women out here getting projects and not partners.
Tisha, we gotta be fair, right? This is what we gotta do. Look at the logic. When you look at a relationship, right? A person can't sleep with somebody and then complain about who they slept with. Because all you're doing is talking about the problem. You're not gonna look at yourself. It's yourself that got intimate with that person. It's yourself that dated that person. Because if we so busy, comfortable being independent, be independently alone until you find what meets with your standards. Otherwise, sit down somewhere because arguing about something that you got intimate with is diabolical. You let him hit it.
That is
You got in the bed with him.
But there's a
So
lot of
no, you
times
see,
where
she's justifying it again.
No, but
because
Q,
again,
I'm saying,
if I'm gonna sleep
there's
with a
a-
woman that's broke, I'm not gonna complain about her financial situation. If I go get in a relationship with a woman that's broke, I am not gonna complain about her finances. If you're gonna sleep with a guy who don't meet the requirements of what you consider masculinity because you want to be in your feminine stage, then you're the problem.
Have you ever been with somebody though and realized after like, oh shoot, I ain't really, this ain't what
People
I
don't
want.
just wake up like
doesn't
that.
happen?
People don't wake up like
doesn't
that.
happen?
You've seen the red flags. We run past them.
Okay.
Trust me. It might have been a time where you might have been in a different space where you are today, right? Maybe your confidence got stronger. I don't know what it is. You could have been vulnerable coming out of breakup because most people don't get over things like psychologically. They get into new bedrooms. I'm being fair. Most men and women, their idea of getting over relationships is getting into another bedroom. So reality is, she didn't give herself time to heal. He didn't give himself time to heal. What they did was run to someone else to try to bleed on them. And
I agree with that.
This is the problem. And now you ignore all the red flags because you know why? You're sitting there telling him everything your man ain't, so guess what? He gonna do it. You're sitting there telling her everything your girl didn't do, so guess what? She's gonna do it. And in reality, then you get to see the true person for who they are. But if you healed, you would be more open-minded to receiving the true versions of themselves. But a lot of times when you're not healed, you take the fake version of themselves, right? And that's what we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, women make the mistake a lot. Women, if you're listening out there, stop telling your new man what your ex-man did.
100%.
Keep that to yourself.
100%.
If they ask, it was wonderful. We grew apart. That's it. Keep that information to yourself. We tend to talk a lot, and we think that it's going to encourage that next man to do better. No, he uses that as fuel to have a standard of what you will accept and what you won't accept. So you keep that to yourself.
100%.
Always
100%.
keep that business to yourself.
You know the scary thing is when you're dealing with like a lot of men and women, a lot of times men and women do not look at themselves when it comes to dating. They do not look at themselves. I think most people in society today overvalue themselves in the dating world. I think to have someone who loves you and wants to spend the rest of their life with you and willing to bring everything, that 50% that they bring in is all they have, and they're willing to bring it to you, I think you've met something great. I think today's society has created so materialistically believing that they don't even look at themselves. Like a person that say they love you and they bring in I don't care if you make 100,000, he make 50,000, and he bring in every bit of that 50,000. Because you got a person that make 100,000 and they're only willing to bring 50,000. So I've seen both sides of the coin. I see women who run in that dating world looking for certain men, and these certain men are never going to see you as a certain partner because these certain men are already certain established where they will never see you as a partner. They're going to just see you as an object. And a lot of times when women, they ask for these type of men, I'm like, you have to be mindful that these men are never going to see you as a partner. If me and you was to date with my status I'm at today, I would never see you as my partner, ever in life. Ever see you as a partner. I would see you as just an object because of the fact that I already built myself. So of course I'm looking more attractive to you because of the fact that I already built, right? So the reality is a lot of times when you look for a man, you look for a man who you can help build with. Sometimes there are women who are better motivated than men. There are women who are more inspired, who are more disciplined, who are more everything. But that man, everything he has, he's willing to bring it to you. That's a good man. When we say that there are issues with women being raised by single fathers, there's issue with men being raised by single mothers too. It flows both ways. You're seeing more feminine men and more masculine women because of the fact that these men aren't in both of these children's lives. More men are emotionally codependent, more women are financially codependent. Right? In most cases, the father gives the daughter everything she wants. In most cases, the father was supposed to teach him how to control his emotions, so therefore he never learned how, so guess what he does? He looks for the emotional security from you. So that's all you're seeing in today's society. You see men looking for the emotional security. You find women looking for the financial security that the father never gave. And now people are overvaluing money more than a person that's willing to give you their whole life. I'm going to love you and be there to the end of time with you. I'm going to admire you. Whether you got on your green Hulk mask when you come to bed and your bonnet, I still love you for the way you look. And I love you. When you put on your hair and all your stuff, of course you look fire and you're getting the attention. But when you don't look like that, I'm still giving you the attention. Society a little weird. Society a little weird, I'm just saying. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. I just think different. I think that when somebody loves you and accepts everything about you, that's true love. When a person only accepts certain aspects of you, don't hit that camera, right? But again, that's the conversations we need to have. But today, in today's society, the standards the goalpost is constantly being moved based on, right?
Fill it up.
The standards keep, what do you call it? The goalposts is keep being moved and moved and moved and moved, right? And people are not looking at themselves. And that's the issue that you have in today's society. When you have women sitting on live right now who done been with 100 men talking about some, and I'm just gonna tell truth, who been with 100 men talking about they want the highest value of man. When you know that the men that are the highest value of man are very conscious of the woman and where she's been, because men care about where a woman's been, a woman cares about where a man is going. So you tell them that you shouldn't care about women. Why would you not hold yourself in good standing and still believe that you're gonna get the highest value of man? If you're not a delusional person, then your mother and father blood related. Because something wrong with your brain. And we just talking logic.
Q, I think you hate women. That's all.
Anytime you say anything against women,
God.
that is. But my women, look, my women in my household is well taken care of, and they don't complain about nothing.
I just think it's just men.
I'll give you a quick story. One day,
women.
my girl was in a store, right? So they was having a conversation in the Herbalife. They love to go on about men. Men.
He's not a delusional person saying if you're
Watch
not
this.
delusional.
She said, you pick and choose what you want to read. That's delusional.
Here we go.
Right? But again, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
But again, when you sit down and listen to we in the Herbalife, the guy said the lady said to my girl, she said, yo, she don't get in this conversation because you got her on lock. I said, she can speak for herself. She said, so he got you on lock? She looked at him and said, no. She said, I don't meet those things that y'all go through. My man pays all the bills. My man takes great care of me. My man is a great father. Like why would I entertain something that it's not me?
Right.
She said, I sit there and listen to how miserable y'all sound. When a lot of y'all have good men, but in reality, y'all overvalue yourselves, therefore you can't see the good man in front of you. This is why you can have a lot of girls who will meet a lot of guys, right? And they overlook these guys because of the fact that they overvalue themselves.
Overvalue
themselves. Yes, they do.
Okay.
They do.
So what you're saying, women in general?
Overvalue themselves?
A lot of them expect more than what they're gonna get. They think that something is looking for them that's not. And I listen to them, I'm like, yo, good luck. You're gonna waste a lot of years of your life and then you wake up 45 talking about men ain't nothing. I'm like, no, you were foolish. Because you gotta teach them what is a good man. A good man is consistent. A good man is loyal. A good man understands and respects you. A good man does not talk down upon you. That's a good man. Okay. A good man leads by example. A good man is a great example of what a father is.
What's a good woman, Q?
A good woman is loyal.
Give me a good woman.
A good woman is loyal. She's honest. She's pure. She respects herself. She's not seeking attention. I would never date a woman that dressed provocative because 9 out of 10 of them either they hoes or they're attention whores. 9 out of 10 women that dress provocative are an attention whore or they're a hoe. And if you don't agree with me, that's on you. I would never entertain it because they're looking for some kind of validation from somebody's attention. And it clearly ain't the person, especially if you got somebody in your house. If you got somebody in your house, that's one thing I do value about the Muslim culture. The Muslim culture is the woman is supposed to show her purity to her man. Her woman don't show her purity to every man on earth. And then she looks at, when the man looks at her like junk, she gets upset. And then you look at, I'm like, this is crazy. But the people that will say it's bad is the woman that dress provocative. And they think that they're supposed to be respected. But if a man dresses like a bum, he's instantly looked at as a bum. You can make up your mindset. Come on, guys. If I dress like a whole bum, I'm a bum. But if a woman dress like a whole thot, she ain't a thot. Come on.
I agree.
Come on.
I do agree,
I agree with
that.
you.
I agree with that. I think it's a very
Put
thin
your cleavage
line with
away,
women
sister.
with being sexy and being a thought, as Q would say. I think it's a very thin line, and we have to be very careful with that line.
Men determine what we see. Women determine what they see when they see men. We determine it.
So again,
you can look at it as be looked at as a sexual encounter, or you could be looked at as a short stay, long stay. You go to hotels, these are short stays and long stays.
Right.
And a lot of times women, we look at them as short stays. Once I go on your gram and see you nothing poking out butt all day, I know what you're looking for. And then don't tell me I don't be entertaining a man in my DM. You capping. You capping. Because you're definitely pushing it out to the village. Hands down. If I go on Instagram and show a bunch of money, I am trying to get attention from the women.
That's true. I agree.
Come
I
on.
agree with that. I agree with that.
Come on. We just call a spade a spade. But again, if you say it, these men are this and these men are that. I'm like, listen, when you said earlier, when men show off money or portray a lifestyle, I do understand why a woman would expect that lifestyle.
Right.
Hands down. Shouldn't portray anything he's not willing to give.
Right.
And I agree with you 1,000% about that.
But do you think a lot of women go into the dressing? You think a lot of women are like that because they feel like that's what men want, that's what they're looking for, that's what they're into? Like,
Attention.
You know what I'm saying?
Attention.
What happened?
Women.
But
I like a manly man. That's it. That's it.
What is a manly man?
just someone, like I was just explaining, that I could just turn my brain off. And I could just let him lead and let him just take control. I don't have to think about anything. I don't have to.
You want to be a child? You know I'm shooting, Myra. It's like childish.
I want to be a child.
No, because there's no way in hell an adult can't think. I'm sorry, Myra.
And
I'm
you
not being
know
fair.
what I mean when I say turn my brain
They
off.
want to be
I
children.
want to allow
You shot me
my
earlier. I was
man.
holding one for you.
Childish is crazy.
I'm joking.
I think a
Why
manly
couldn't she
man.
be
I think.
submissive and being protective at the same time?
thank
Q?
you,
yellow
Can I
sweater.
challenge you that on a
Hello.
man's level?
Thank you,
Let's go.
yellow
Let's get it.
sweater.
Let's
Say it
cook.
again. I ain't.
Let's cook.
Say it again.
Yes.
Hold on.
Say
What
it
he
again so they can hear you.
I'm gonna say it one more time. Why can't she be submissive and being protective? As a leader, she's supposed to feel protected, and she's giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Thank
Thank
you.
No, but
you.
being,
That's what I'm
hold
saying.
on.
I'm
Being
not
a great
saying
leader,
I don't
being
want
a-
to think.
hold on.
I want to think. I want to use my brain. Of
That's not
course,
what you
I'm
said,
very
though.
intelligent. Okay, so let me reiterate
Okay.
my
No,
words.
No,
Please
no,
do
don't
before
do
you
it.
have
Don't
to
do
walk
it.
on a-
You
You going over
spoke for
the
Q. Let him talk. Let him talk, because you
Yeah, bro,
said
calm
what you
down.
said.
Calm down.
Let me rephrase my statement. I want to be able to allow my man to
Now we
fully
talking.
lead.
Now we talking.
Okay, as far as when it comes to certain things and situations, sometimes we always have to take control, and we always have to, like I said, be the problem solver and a decision maker. A manly man to me, when he say, you know what, babes, I got this. Don't even worry about it. I got this. He sees something in the house that may be going awry and he's fixing. I don't even have to say to him, hey, did you see? I just come home and I see
yes.
that the towel rack is fixed.
I agree.
I see that this is fixed.
And what is your role?
Listen, I have a car.
I'm asking, what's your role though?
What's my role?
And what's your role?
In the house?
If he's like that,
In the
if he's-
house?
If he's like that, right?
Right.
What is your role?
I'm gonna always make sure my man is emotionally and physically satisfied. Okay, that is my goal. I am married, so we ain't got, we all go through things, but I always make sure that my husband is emotionally and physically satisfied. I don't do all the talking down. We may get into arguments and things, but I don't talk to him crazy. He doesn't talk to me crazy. I show him respect. He shows me respect. But that is my role. And I'm in my household, I always say my husband is the beauty and I'm the brains. And that's just that.
I do believe that what you say earlier is a lot of men do pose as leaders. And the one thing is, y'all come around me a lot and I lead. I just telling my family today, I got 3 wives. I took on my mother and I took on my grandmother as my wife. And I make sure that they're good too. And I'm the first to sacrifice myself for that. And they would agree, hands down. There's some guys that don't even do that for their women. And I do agree. But the only thing I do say is,
Somebody say
you have 2 boys. You have 2 boys, right?
do.
And with having 2 boys, you're gonna see how society, after you're not in existence, you're gonna see how hard society is on them boys. And you're gonna look at me and be like, if you had a daughter, you'll see that your daughter could wake up one day 40 years old and expect a man to take care of her. If a man wakes up at 40 years old looking for a woman to take him, he sounds like a whole bozo. But a
Q,
woman
what
can
I
wake up at
agree with
40 and look
Myra
for a
with-
man to give her everything.
What I agree with
That's
Myra
crazy.
is there's a lot of men out here, and again, guys, minus the outside, you say let's not make ourselves the standards, but we could speak from us and our experiences and our friends, right? I think there are a lot of men out here that just aren't leaders. They're not.
I agree.
They don't know how to lead. And
Agree.
then when you have a strong woman that may come in and take that lead, now she's looked at as an alpha, she's masculine. It's either masculine or feminine. But my thing is, if you're not going to take on that role, someone has to do it. Someone has to take
But
on
why
that
would
role
she
of being a
sleep with
leader.
him though? Because
Q,
you know
you
the ultimate submission a woman can do? The ultimate submission a woman can do is lay there and take penis from a man.
Can I finish,
Would you
though?
agree with that statement?
Q, can I
So if
finish?
you lay there and take penis from a man and to complain about what you got intimate with and went all the way to have a child by that person,
But
it's
Q,
something
you
wrong with
said
you.
many a times
is
that some-
if I have a big with a bum, it's my fault.
But you said people
you've
lead
said
with
many
their
a times,
representative.
right?
But I'm not gonna go that far and
Okay.
then blame that person.
No, we're not blaming, but we're just saying that that's why sometimes people lead with their representative. So
Right.
they may
10
lead
years
with
is a
their
long time.
representative. But no,
10 years is a long time. I'm sorry.
Say this, you meet a person and they leading with their representative for a month. That's usually my standard. Somebody maybe a month.
But
could
I
be
just
shorter,
I do
but,
believe that there's a level of delusion that comes in a long-term relationship, and they try to blame the person for who they are today. I do believe that's a little bit of cap. I think it's some cap there.
You said before some women are just strong and they might have to take the lead. You said there are some times where the man, this is his role. So how are you now saying then why
No, because
would you be with him?
I think you're the masculine.
So why is this all about me?
No, but I'm just saying in general, I think that society don't understand that you can be a feminine man and you could be a masculine man. You could be a feminine woman, and you could be a masculine woman.
What's a masculine woman?
A masculine woman is a leader.
I beg your pardon?
There are a lot of great leading women out here. There are a lot of women I'll do business with before some guys. They're disciplined, they're organized, they lead by example. They're very good leaders.
Okay, so I'll take it as an insult.
I think that's why I keep trying to explain to you.
As an insult,
when you look by definition, it doesn't give a gender of what masculine energy and feminine energy is. It's the order of the relationship, the structure of a relationship. It could be a male or a female. That's why when you keep hearing masculine, you keep thinking it's me saying you're a man. No. Why would I call you a man?
I know you're not calling me a man.
You got 2 kids. Like, I hope you.
Nobody said you were calling me a man, but I feel like sometimes you fault me for being the way I am.
No, I don't.
Yes,
I fault you for not accepting who you are.
I do accept.
How many times have y'all guys heard this 100 times? Sashay, you are a great leader. I think that you want more from life, and I think it's going to be you to get your family that, because I believe that you have the ability to do it. I've said this 1,000 times. I think you need to stop delegating something in your head that you believe some man can do for you and do it for yourself, because I think you built for it. I tell you that all the time. Would you agree?
Yes.
I do say that all the time. I don't think that you're a submissive woman. I don't think you'll ever be like that. I think you're a great leader, and it's okay. It's who you are. It's what makes you who you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think she's more feminine than you. It is what it is.
Don't try to put us against each other.
No, I just think you're more. But again, but it could be the way y'all both was raised. Y'all could have been raised different.
Yeah. We're different.
That's what makes nurture versus nature environments. It all creates people. Mm-hmm. You don't meet somebody that ain't hood, that don't come from the hood unless they front.
A business owner is masculine.
It depends. The business owner can also hire someone that's his supervisor or boss that can be masculine. He might just be able to build something, or she might be able to build something, but don't mean they can run it. They usually hire good people to run it. Most CEOs aren't the owners of the company. They're the face of the company. When you're looking at a Fortune 500, the CEO is usually a face that they hired. He's just a great leader. So I'm just saying, whether it's male or female, I just think that role is interchangeable based on the way you were raised. And for me, talking to you all the time, I genuinely believe that you have very leadership qualities.
You talk to my husband too. You talk to him too, Q.
But I don't know him on a personal level as I know you though.
All the time.
No, but I'm just saying
he be all up in Q's DMs.
But I do see that you're a great leader, and I think is okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But today's society, we fight against who we are. And when you say the term, it's just leadership. A submissive person has to allow someone to lead them. I think it's weird that a woman could allow someone to conquer her sexually, which is the most valuable prize, but can't conquer her by leadership. I think that's kind of crazy, because the moment you give away your prize, you gave away the most intimate thing you have. Because a woman don't win. The more you put notches on your belt with a man, the more you lose value when it comes to the opposite sex. I'm just calling what a spade is. No woman gains value by having a bunch of sexual partners. I don't know none. And I don't know how I value men unless they crazy and sick that want something like that. I just don't know none.
So what is a high valued man looking for in a woman?
Submission.
And define that submission.
Feminine. Very feminine. Less, not argumentative, peaceful. A woman can't be combative and talking about she's peaceful. She's delusional. A woman can't say, well, he has to. Once you start that neck rolling, you already know what we're dealing with.
See, you know what the problem is? Me and Shay have this ongoing joke. She says that I have no emotions, that I don't.
And be his peace.
I don't really show emotion, but I always tell women, we are way too emotional for no reason. We gotta get out of I feel, and start going to I think. Stop using your heart to make decisions.
But you can't say that and said half hour ago, men have testosterone, women have estrogen. We're built off of emotions.
Yes,
so
that's why we're emotional. Learn to control it.
Yes.
That's where it is. Yeah. It's a control thing.
Yes.
Once you start exercising your mind, once you start feeling that burn in your stomach, when something happens, you know you get that burn in your stomach, that's your emotions.
Of course.
You have to push that out and say, okay, let me think what is the logical thing to do.
Yes.
If women could just start thinking logically, we would have so much more control
100%.
Over these men.
100%.
Stop using your emotions
100%.
and use your logic, and you can
100%.
control men so much easier.
100%.
That's just what it is.
But let me ask you, did you grow up in a structure with a mom and a dad?
I did.
That's why. You've seen order. Most people rebel against order. The other day I said in order. You can look at,
what's the word? Dysfunctional order.
What I'm still saying is you saw a man. There are some people that never seen their mother in a real relationship and learned how to be in a relationship from a mother who can't keep a relationship, Whether it was dysfunctional, whether it was toxic, whether it was anything else in between. I know kids who watch their parents or mother or father have girlfriend after girlfriend and boyfriend after boyfriend. They had so many uncles that they thought that the village was their neighborhood.
Yeah.
I know girls who literally have so many uncles, right? Because of the fact that the girl is just sleep with mad people and bring all these men around their kids.
Right.
I know she has issues. It's clear as day that she has issues, right? And I do pray for a person like that.
Right.
That ain't a normal human, but clearly that she brings that, all these people around her kids.
Right.
All these people around her kids. So again, all that energy is being transferred as you speak on it. All these people done impacted your child some way, somehow. Some way, somehow. Here go another one leaving. So that whole child's life is seeing nothing but men walking it out of their life. I do believe that a lot of women hold their son to higher requirements than the men they sleep with. And I'm saying that again. A lot of women hold their sons to a higher requirement than they hold the men that they sleep with. And then they complain about the men they sleep with. Keep your thing between your legs. Slow down, Sister Soldier.
I agree.
You are the last stop when it comes to sex. A woman is the last stop before sex. She has the say. So if you're sleeping with Mr. Jerry and then you want to complain about Mr. Jerry being like, come on, man. Like, come on, like, grow up. Like, you got to be some level of accountable. It's impossible. Because I'm going to be honest with you, after a certain amount of children, whether male or female, you become the problem. After 2, you become the problem. 100%. 100% you become the problem. Once it's a mistake, you get that one strike. Well, you got 2, 3, and 4 baby mothers, you the problem. And I just call a spade a spade. There was a time where I was heavy the problem. And it took me to reflect on myself and say, wait, I'm passing the bill every time. I'm talking about women that I'm choosing because men choose relationships. We decide to stay after we sleep with you. A woman can't take leadership from me after she submits to me. It's impossible. Only a weak man can give that back. If a woman can take leadership from you after she submits to you, you ain't no man.
So why do you think a lot of black fathers aren't in the household?
I do believe a lot of black fathers ain't in the household because a lot of black grandfathers was in the household. They only repeated.
So we're not holding them accountable. It's because of their grandfathers.
No, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is a lot of them need to realize that if you are man enough to make it, you have to take care of it and stay there. And I do believe that there are a lot of women who are they have incentives to kick the father out so they can get social services, welfare, and also live off the government because the government will protect you to kick them out.
But that was actually a program that was put in place in the 80s by Ronald Reagan, though. Yes, they choose it now, but we're not going to get into politics or systematic. We're not going to go there, but that was actually a program that was put in place. I believe it might have been like the late 70s or such that was put into place. So people of color could receive, women of color could receive, welfare. Welfare. So... Public assistance, that's what I was looking for. Public assistance. Yes, it is. But the man was not allowed 100%. To be in the house. So it was strategically made to be that way, and it just stuck. That's what happened. It stuck with our culture. So now that is like the norm. It's normal now. When I hear women say, "Oh, I don't want to get a job because I'm gonna lose my Section 8." I hear it. I hear it. So I will. You know, it's a very true thing. It's just a society that we live in right now.
And a lot of times we're not accountable for the realities of what we see. There are people who do not look at themselves.
There we go. Welfare Act, 1964. That's the Welfare Act. Lyndon B. Johnson. Thank you, CT.
That's exactly what it is. And a lot of women have created children. If you look at like a child that grew up in the hood, by the time you get to the 3rd generation, that child is worse than the 1st generation. Like my grandmother grew up in the hood. We were way more diabolical than my grandmother.
Of course,
because you evolve. You evolve, right? So now you see more women who believe that they can raise a child by themselves, and they have the lowest success rate when it comes to parenting children by themselves. Why are
spreading misinformation? What's the misinformation?
But don't even worry about that. But look, when you look at 70% of children that come from single parents end up incarcerated. 70% of children they have mental health issues, lower educational levels, mental health, or run away from homes. It's all across the board. A single father has the statistics of 2 parents in the household. And when you look at a lot of women in our culture who love to glorify how they can raise a child by themselves. And then a lot of these sons, you wonder why they're sassy. And then a lot of times we are men and women, we have to learn if we can get in a bed and get intimate and create life, we can raise life. Regardless of what we're going through, it's not about me and you, it's about that kid. Whatever's the best logical decision for that child, that is the best decision. And when you can't think about that, you already have a problem. You worried about, oh, you know what? I can do this by myself. And then you wonder why your son's so sassy.
No, but let me ask you, so you said whatever is the best logical decision for that child. Sometimes when you have parents that are in a toxic household, is that the best logical decision, even though it's a two-family household? If you're going to raise a child in toxicity, then why would you stay? Because is that going to benefit the child anyway?
I agree.
Just because there's a mom and dad, if mom and dad aren't constantly at each other, how is that child gonna show up in the
toxic,
world?
If you can't change him, but you can change yourself. So if you're engaging in toxic, all you can do is hold yourself accountable for what you're doing. So reality is, I can't talk for him, but I can talk for you. So if you entertain toxic behavior, you're toxic as hell too. If I entertain a toxic woman, I'm toxic too. Because a person can't bring you out of character unless you're allowing yourself to come out of character. After a certain age, you become an adult. And when you become an adult, you cannot sit there and say, well, he did this. You sound like a child. That is two grown children in the house. So if you behave such, I'm not going to entertain you or go to your level. Or B, I'm going to just walk away.
Right.
But again, if I'm entertaining it, I'm just as guilty. If I can get petty right along with you, because you're petty. You're petty. It's not he or she, it's the person. That's a characteristic flaw in that person that's entertaining that behavior. It's just what it is. So when you said two parents, that means there's two grown-ups who are entertaining it. And one of the grown-ups have the ability to stop entertaining it. So if a person is entertaining it, they just as guilty. One thing about my God, he doesn't point the finger at one person. The moment you transgress and you take on any kind of level, you just as guilty. So if I hit you and you hit me back, we both guilty. That's when you become an adult. You don't say hit me first. That's what children do. You hit me first. That's what kids do. As adults, we both accountable. We both did it. It is what it is.
But do you think it's possible that if there isn't a two-parent household that you can still raise great kids?
100%. When two parents are still cooperative with each other, because regardless of whatever didn't work out between you two, like if he's a good father, right, and he's not, we're gonna say this because there are toxic fathers out there too, there's toxic mothers out there. If he's not a toxic father, he might be a toxic husband or boyfriend, right? Husband and boyfriend. We're talking about a father. There is two different roles. They're not the same roles. Every human wears multiple hats, right?
Right.
So if I come home, I'm in dad mode. When I'm at work, it's a different mode. Right? So again, as long as the person is not toxic, they're not gonna do anything that's gonna taint or corrupt your child. I don't see why we can't. If we say that we over each other, why are we even fighting?
Right.
It don't even make sense. You over me, I'm over you. Why are we fighting?
Who you think is more toxic, men or women?
Men.
Let's see what Q said.
I just said that to be annoying.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Be honest.
I think the fact that women are more emotional, they can get more petty. And I just believe that wholeheartedly. I do believe that from a guy went through the whole family court situation, had to fight for custody and won my son. I've seen the most toxic things in family court I've ever seen in my life. And they're usually initiated by women. I do believe that a lot of times, even there are a lot of men who are incarcerated for domestic violences and they never even did it. They never even did it. And I'm just being honest with you. I got a cousin going through that right now. And he never did it. And I was there. So it's not like I'm saying he gave me his opinion. No, I was there.
Yeah. I think we're more toxic, for sure. Women are.
100%.
We really are.
Yeah, because we use our brains a little
Yeah.
more, so we kind of come up with
and we're
plans
able to be more manipulative.
We're
And women know what we
manipulative.
can use to our advantage. So I
Yes.
do feel like in that, women know what we can get away with. So we definitely, we jab that.
Y'all
at you
abuse the
guys. So I
system.
do. Yeah,
A lot of
we
y'all
do.
abuse the system.
I agree with that.
We do.
And
I
they're
agree.
creating a law right now that's about weaponizing.
Yeah.
A lot of women do weaponize their children.
Women know that because, like you said, if there's a domestic violence call, the minute if a man calls or a woman calls, chances are they're gonna arrest him.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get arrested, and we
100%.
know that. So sometimes you do have women that will beat themselves up or exaggerate it just so that could happen, and that does happen in a lot of instances. So I do agree with you.
And that's why we sit down, we have these conversations right now. I
agree with that.
I empathize with a lot of men because they're held to diabolical standards that they were never taught. And then we could admit that there aren't a lot of men in their lives, right? It is easy for you to learn how to be a woman because there's more women that are good examples. I had a lot of good women examples. I had more good women examples than I had good men examples. I had to learn. I had to go through a lot of trial and error. And I had to figure myself out as a man, right? And believe you me, I bumped my head more times than not to learn how to do it. And then on top of it, I had to make myself feel like this has to be self-rewarding. Being a husband is trash. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Why?
Because it's not a rewarding job. Most men get married because of the fact that they want to make their woman an honest woman. I've never met a man in my life who said, I cannot wait to get married. I ain't never met them. I only met men that say like that because they love their woman enough where they said they want to make her an honest woman. I never met, I can't wait till my wedding, and when I walk down the aisle, and I ain't never met no man talking like that. I ain't never met him. And usually when the guys I meet like that, he's gay.
So you're saying that, pardon me, that when it comes to marriage, that women are the only ones that benefit?
More women have become millionaires through divorce than not. So you could ask yourself that question again. And the sad part is, again, is an incentive for you to leave than to stay, right? Because y'all not held to the financial burden in most cases as a man. So therefore, women don't mind leaving if the system holds you like, once you got in that, you got to stay in that.
That's true.
But again, she's like, you know what, I'm gonna take him for everything he get, and I'm gonna do all of these garbage things to this person. And the sad part is, this is your child's father.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no way in hell I can.
That's true.
Yo, I went through hell with my son's mother. And there's no way in hell I would ever hate my son's mother. I tell my son, did you pray for your mother? Yo, does she need you? I would send my son in $100 Uber and $100 Uber back just to make sure he see his mother. Right. I'll give you one. And my son was here right now here validate this. My son's mother got evicted from her place. I paid a whole year for her living in an apartment when we were not together. Because you know why? My son's grades started dipping. And I'm like, yo, what's going on with your grades? Right. And I'm yelling at him, screaming at him every day. Then I started realizing it wasn't his grades. It was his mother he was worried about. So finally, I had to get to the bottom of it. I said, what's going on? He told me. I said, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. I will pay for your mother to live somewhere and get on her feet. So I gave her a little over a year to get on her feet. Now, let me ask you, in most cases, you think a lot of women would do something like
that's
that?
so stand up of you. No. That's good.
But you think a lot of women would do that?
Somebody said, wait, put my business out there.
It's the truth. You think a lot of women would do that?
A lot of women or men?
You think a lot of women will have that level of empathy for their child's father?
No, listen, I will say this, guys. If we're going to get personal, let's get personal.
I don't think so either.
I will say that if we're going to get personal, you know, sometimes I get personal.
I heard you talk to your baby daddy the other day.
What?
I heard you talk to your baby daddy the other day.
What I said?
Diabolical.
You always doing the entire mo, so.
Do that again, Tyler. I heard it. Damn. You think okay, right now you had an empathy with baby mama, baby fathers, right? I don't even like using that term as a ghetto term and it's a derogatory term. It's actually disrespectful. Child's father, child's mother. You think the child's mother would have more empathy for the child's father would have more empathy for the child's mother?
Somebody say you're being a good daddy.
The child's father's gonna have more empathy for the child's mother.
I agree. I agree. And it's sad. You know, like even when you take a lot of cases, I know guys that have one custody of their kids, they don't even take the mother for child support. I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Didn't want to.
I agree.
I said, if you choose to do anything for them, you choose to do it.
Right.
But I'm not going to hold you to doing it. And the one thing I learned that from my mother raised all us by herself. And she never put my father on child support.
So I will say this, since we always try to be transparent, guys. So when I spoke to a lawyer, initially when we were talking about divorce, right? And I said to him, I don't want anything. The lawyer was like, wait. He was like, I've been doing this for 30-something years. Don't be stupid. Don't be that woman. Blah, 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 blah. He was going off. I said, no, I don't want anything. I said, what do I want? I said, he's a great dad. He does what he needs to do. I don't want to go. I don't need him to pay me. Why would I want a man to pay me alimony if I want to leave him? Right. Like, that doesn't make sense. He needs to give me marital support. Right. Why does he need to give me child support? He's a good father. He takes care of his kids. I don't need him. But in a divorce, child support is mandated by a man. Like, they have to pay child. You can't even argue that. So I thought that was crazy. I was like, no. He said, well, you can work that however you want. I said, if we are not getting along and we need to go our separate ways, we'll figure out between us what works. I don't want a court to now decide he has to this, he has to that. I said, I don't think that I deserve any of his retirement, his alimony, his this, because I want to leave. So you just want peace. So now we just come to a medium and, but I thought it was crazy when the lawyer said to me, oh, you're crazy. Like, what do you mean you don't want anything? We have to leverage. You have to go on the table with something. So he said most women aren't like that. He said most women come in with their demands of what they want. They want half of everything. Right. And the reason why divorces stretch out so long, he said, is because of the woman. Because she's never satisfied. So if the guy says, I'll give you this, no, she wants more. Because I know he has this and he has that and we have this and we have that. So I just wanted to throw that in there. So,
but you even if you take like when I was going through my divorce, and I give more money right now than I'm even supposed to
get flowers from me like that. Yeah.
And everything I say, this is all in public forum.
Yeah.
You can look into it. And the reason being is because I would never see my child's mother as an enemy.
Right. Yeah.
And again, how are you my enemy when we have to raise a child together?
Right, yeah.
If I'm a bum, my child will see his father as a bum. If my daughter is hurting, that means the mother is hurting.
Right.
So therefore, why would I want to see the mother struggle? Because my kid who lives with the mother will struggle too.
Right.
I don't understand. You say you love your kid. If you love your kid, you'll be able to look beyond how you feel about the father and love the father.
And do what's right
because
for
of
the kid.
Come on.
I agree with that.
Right.
That ain't
I think
love.
when kids are involved, that's when my empathy comes in, because I feel like, you know, my husband is a good man and he's a great father. So I feel like if we are separating and we're going our separate ways, I don't think I would ever let my emotions control the narrative. I feel like now I would have to, like Myra said, take my emotions out and be logical and say what works best for the children,
100%.
what works for our family. It's not
100%.
going to be my personal gain. And you know what? Because him suffering mean my kids are going to suffer, and I don't want to see my kids suffer. So I feel like sometimes women, we kind of lose what it's all about when we see the financial gain, because women just want more. I have a friend who's like, listen, I go to court every time I could to petition.
I know.
My big daddy get
Never
more
hear
and more
men
and
talk
more.
like
And I'm
that.
like, but why? Like, why is it? Because and it's just to make him miserable. But my thing is, why? Like, how is that benefiting your child? You know?
Yes.
But I think a lot of women, we do that.
And it's sad.
You know, we do
Because
that. And
again,
that is sad. Yeah,
on
we
a
do
breakup,
that.
we are taught as a culture to be enemies. I don't see too many healthy breakups. And every time I see a breakup, we have to be villains and hate each other. How do you say that you can do better than your man, but you're fighting the man? Because a lot of times you realize you couldn't do better. You overvalued yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. A lot of times you meet people who think that there's somebody that's waiting for them, their imperfect self, right? And they go meet somebody that's gonna be perfect waiting for them.
Yeah.
I'm imperfect. There's no way I'm gonna meet a perfect human. It's impossible. So if a person think that they're gonna meet a perfect human and
But
they
do you
know they're
think-
imperfect,
Do you think society has made breakups, divorces, and everything like such a bad thing? Do you think sometimes it comes to a point where two people may just not be able to get along, that's the best thing? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we've kind of put it out there like, oh my God, they're breaking up. What did he do? What did she do? They're getting a divorce. But sometimes do you think that may just be
what he do. Usually is what he do. I'm just being fair.
So
And
men don't file for divorce?
You go look up the percentage right now. It's by
Yeah,
far
I'm sure
women.
it's low, of course.
It's by
I'm sure
far
it's
women.
lower.
It's not even close. By far women.
So
And
why
a
do
lot
you
of times they
think
say
women-
because they're not happy.
that was
You
my,
think
gonna be
most
my
women
question.
leave because of their happiness?
Yes. Yes.
Impulsiveness.
I do believe that a lot of women believe that there is something out there waiting for them that don't exist. And I feel bad for them. Because when you sit down and listen to the things that a lot of times women complain about, I'm like, I'm a man. And I deal with a lot of men. And I'm like, I think he's kind of good. And I'm like, I don't think you should run. Because you're about to get worse. And then you tell them that, it's like, you just want me to say, I don't want you to do anything. I'm just giving you advice. But do me a favor. When it don't pan out the way you want it to be, don't be that bitter older woman. Talk about men ain't nothing. Because that's what I see a lot of. And the sad part is when you look at these kind of platforms, you have a lot of bitter, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I do see more bitter women when it comes to their experience in dating, because they have a high sense of entitlement of what they expect to be entertaining them. And when that don't come along, it's because men ain't this and because men ain't that. No, sister, you weren't what they saw. You can't cast out certain bait and not get mad that you're not luring certain people.
What you mean you weren't what they saw? Sam?
Sometimes people think that they're gonna get something that don't see them. They don't see them. It's delusion. I'm like, you got a woman that got 4 kids, 4 dads talking about she has the same value as a woman who was 25 years old with no kids. And the little girl got a degree and you don't have a degree. And you believe that you're more valuable in the dating world. In the dating world. That's kind of crazy. And when you say that, it's like you're talking like you're dissing them. And I'm like, no, it's just logical.
So why do you think a woman is less valuable with children and a man is, I don't want to say more valuable, but obviously for her to have the kids, she's had it with someone. So we have 4 kids together and we're broken up. Why am I less valuable with 4 kids than you are? Or less desirable for a man than you are for a woman?
Let me answer that question honestly. Mm-hmm. Because again, as long as I'm going somewhere in my life, you don't care. Men see where you've been. And when you come with them 4 kids, I see where you've been. In most cases, a man that's about his legacy don't believe your children are a part of his legacy. I'm being fair. And you say it sounds so harsh. But again, women choose to entertain men with 4 kids as long as he going somewhere with his life. A woman will entertain a guy who has 1,000 bodies under his belt. It is what it is. Most men will not entertain a woman. The men of status will not entertain a woman to be in a relationship with, other than intimacy, with a woman that got a lot of mileage on her. I ain't never seen a man say, with money, go to a used car lot, say, I want the car with the highest mileage on it. I ain't never seen that. Listen, I said again, I've never seen a man go to a car dealership that has money and look for the car with the highest mileage on it. I've never seen that in my life. Never. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, I don't create the rules, I just understand it. And by understanding the rules, I implement it in my life to know how to move. I know that I'm not considered valuable unless I meet certain levels in life. I know that. No matter how cute you are after a certain age, cute fly out the window, whether male or female. You know what I'm saying? I know a man right now, most men that are successful would take a solid 6 who's submissive, less argumentative, and who will give him headaches than a 10 who's gonna be leeching, always wanting money and a headache. And that's what men get. You get to that point where you start maturing and realize it ain't even worth it anymore. It's not even worth it. Because of men, we tend to look for peace. Men don't go where they're tolerated, we go where we're celebrated. I didn't create it, I just understand it.
Yes, Tyler.
I have a question. So I saw a new study that most people, they're not getting relationships anymore, and they saying it's not worth it. Why do you think that is?
I'm sorry?
Most people aren't getting in relationships anymore. They think it's not worth it in 2026. Why do you guys think that?
I feel like the dating world is trash.
And I think that people's morals and values have just changed.
Don't align,
And they don't align anymore, like with what dating is. Like when we going back to what Q said, like our grandparents' age, it was more you court a woman, right?
100%.
You court her, you meet her family, you take her out. You get to know that person. Now it's just straight to sex. And you don't know that person. You don't know who they are, what they're about.
Yep.
And immediately you have sex and then you realize, you know what? I really don't like you. But it's too late. You've had sex with them. So now you're not even interested in building a relationship with them anymore because you've already gotten to the main part of everything. You've already got that out of the way.
Yep.
But then I feel like sometimes you don't want to build a relationship with someone and then you get there and it's whack. Because in my opinion, that is a big part of a relationship is intimacy. So it could be very tricky when it comes to that. You just got to be careful in who you choose and what you choose for yourself.
I think to add to Myra, I also think there are a lot of women out there now that try to be men, dare I say that I feel like a lot of women are so independent, building so much of an empire of their own that they feel like they don't need a man. And I feel like when a man doesn't feel needed, then why stay? You know what I mean? So I feel like why build a relationship where you feel like, well, he's coming with his and she's coming with hers and she feels like, well, I have this, I don't need you. And it's a constant like, you know what I mean? Tit for tat going at each other. So sometimes I feel like that has to do with it because I've heard a lot of guys say that, like, you know, and Q even said that. Like, if a man has a home, he's willing to bring a woman in and make it their home. You come into a woman's home when it's an argument, she's telling you to get out of her house. And I feel like that's very true. You'll have a lot of women, once they build theirs, it's theirs. You know what I'm saying? And men just, you know, who wants to deal with that?
We do have a problem with sharing.
It's very demasculating for a man to feel like he's just not needed. Because I feel like every man just wants to feel needed to some degree, right? They just want to be respected. They want to feel needed. So if you feel like you're not needed, then why am I here? It's like you said, I'd rather take a solid 6 that's going to make me feel desired, make me feel wanted, make me feel needed over a 10 with her own that's going to make me feel like I have no value here. Then why am I here?
I think she's going to, a lot of times, when you, it's just the same way as a man that overstimulates his ego with his finances. It's the same way as a woman that overstimulates her ego with her looks and her body. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So when you look at a person like that, usually that comes with an extreme level of insecurity.
Right.
Because if you take away either one of the two, you'll see who the person is. And like, for instance, when a person ages who only had a value of their body, their aesthetics, you see that they don't really value themselves as they get older.
Right.
Because they never had a value.
Right.
Right? When you don't bring nothing to the table, whether verbally, whether mentally, you're not even stimulating. Like, I'm an intellect. I love when people can entice my thoughts. I'm not attracted. A woman can walk past me naked and I'm not going crazy gawking. That's what I did in my 20s.
Right. That's
But
called a sapiosexual.
Yes, it's like it ain't that serious. Like you not, I already know what you are.
Right.
You know, I know what, in the fact that you want everyone to see what you are, I don't have to look at a pig and question whether it's a pig. It's a pig. If it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. It's just what it is. I do believe that the reason why the dating pool is bad is because people are in the dating pool with high expectations of things that a lot of them can't even bring to the table. You have a woman that works at McDonald's who believes that she should have a man that's working on Fortune 500 on Wall Street. When you got that mentality, you got crazy people.
Right.
Look at that mentality. You are of a level, and then you expect the person to be 10 times higher than you.
Right.
That's kind of scary when you have people who genuinely, that's called entitlement. And that's what you're seeing why the dating world is so messed up. If a person can carry their own water, pay their own bills, right, and add more value to your life, making it easier, that's a person that's dateable. It's not about how much, because only 8% of Americans make over $100,000. A lot of y'all on social media be capping. 8% of Americans make $100,000. And if you go into the 300, 400,000, that's like 2 to 3%. So somebody lying. And if we take black people only, and we say how many make 100,000, it's probably 4%. So when you see everybody acting like they got all this fake life, they living on credit cards. They living off debt. They not living off of currently with the earnings that they're making. Most of those people online that got these big trucking companies, they lying. They lying. They just, black people, we have a gift of making struggle look like we rich. We gonna call a spade a spade. Black people have a gift of making themselves look like they are way more successful than they truly are. And that's the issue when you're dealing with a culture who's been taught to believe that money is the standard of success. No. Compatibility, cooperation is the standard of success. God is not going to care about what y'all built economically. You're going to see your economics going to show based on what the children you raised. Right? Creating more positive, productive people in society shows a healthy relationship. There's some people that shouldn't even have kids. I'm like, you shouldn't even have a child. You're about to create you. And then the sad part is you hold your child to a higher standard than you hold yourself. That's the worst parent on earth. You hold your kid to a higher standard than you hold yourself. I don't tell my son how to be great. I show him how to be great. I show my daughter what a good man is. I show her. You don't gotta say it. They see it. You know? They're gonna love you just because they love you. But that don't mean they respect you. You know? I know you got something to say.
An argument, but I'm just not.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
I'm just tired. I don't want to.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear this.
It's okay.
No,
Listen.
say it.
So, a little while conversation back, I don't know if you guys heard, when Q said, if I've built everything that I've built, why would I want to date you? He was putting it out there. He said, why would I want to date you? I'm going to look at you as an object. But then just now you said, but it's based on compatibility.
Yes, but children are not come with compatibility. When a man that's about his legacy wants to start his legacy. He don't want to continue a man's legacy. He don't want to play stepdaddy. Most successful men do not want to play stepdad. So if a woman don't understand, the moment you start having children is the moment you start lowering your ability to lure a certain man. I'm gonna say that again. If a woman don't believe that, she can believe whatever she want. But all my men that's in the chat, if a woman say I don't agree, that means you know how to be a man better than a man. Men that are about substance, that have their lives together, do not value women that have children. I'm just gonna call it what it is. They want to start their legacy from start. I'm just sorry to call it what it is. And, you know, and some people are like, well, I got a man. I'm like, and that's the man you wish we didn't have. You wish you had somebody else. Having somebody to come home don't mean anything.
We don't want men with kids either.
Well, that's not a problem. They can choose that too.
When you get to a certain age, though, like, you know, if you're talking about 20 something, then yes. When we start getting to 30s and even 40s or whatever, it's naturally people have kids.
Most men make their most amount of money in their 40s. It takes a man. Remember, I told you it takes men time to build. A lot of women, if they had to meet the same requirements, they will be dating later also. Usually the women that are successful, they definitely did it in later years. So therefore, the men that are successful, they also did it in later years. You don't find the average 21-year-old riding around here with a Bentley, whether male or female. So reality is they have to build themselves up. So while the man is building himself up, he cares about his legacy. And he doesn't see a woman that has children, especially multiple baby daddies, as a legacy. I'm just gonna call it what it is. I'm not saying that she can't get a man. That's not what I'm saying. When we talk about most women are in line for the same 10% of men. And that's really the problem. Most women want the same 10% of men. Then you have the woman that says, you know what? I'm gonna look at Kenzie. I'm gonna look at Kenzie. He's a good man. And then she goes on and get married and have a healthy family. But they overlook the good guy because it's all about how much money he makes. That's the problem with today's society. And when you know.
So you have a man that's coming in today. I'm just trying to get this correct. I'm learning from you guys. I'm trying to learn. So you have a man that's, let's just say you are single and you're dating a woman. She comes with children. You come with children as well. So you look at her as less valuable because she comes with kids, but you also come with children. So it doesn't matter that you do. She's just less valuable that she does.
Because again, women
I'm just
will.
trying to
I'm trying to explain to you.
understand.
Women will accept it.
Okay.
Would you say right now, being fair, if a man works
Why is that
$100,000,
learning from me?
right? Let's say he make $100,000, right? I'm just give it a standard. When people say $100,000, they take it like it's nothing. But in reality, only 4% of black people make that kind of realm. Just so you know that, 4%. So if a high earning man, say he makes about $100,000, and he has no children. You would, no matter if he has 2 or 3 kids, you would still date him. Even if you didn't have kids. Most women will still date a man at 40 with kids.
Okay.
Most men just wouldn't. I'm not gonna say a 50-year-old guy who would date a 40-year-old girl maybe have 1, 2 kids. She would have to date up as far as age.
Excuse me.
But if a 40-year-old guy is not looking for a 40-year-old woman with children, I'm just being honest. I could see maybe a 50 older guy because he feel like he's getting a younger woman. So I could see that happening. But I don't see he want a 50-year-old woman with 5 kids. I don't see that. Y'all be watching too many movies. And it's always the women. They be single as hell too. They be single. I be feeling bad for them because they really be delusional. You didn't see the thing that said the other day, the percentage, look it up, Tyler, the percentage of women that's gonna be childless and single in the next 5 years. It's crazy.
It's just a double standard.
Like this.
It's a double.
But y'all allow it.
But it's just for you saying that you can have a 40-year-old man that has 3 kids, 3 baby mamas, and a 40-year-old woman that has 2 kids, 1 baby daddy, and you just said he will look at her. She doesn't hold any value to him, but she'll look at him with value. I'm just trying to understand.
Let me tell you a secret.
Tell me a secret.
Most men, when they walk into a house and they see their child and they see that the man you had a child with, most cases, if your baby father a bum, he ain't with it. He ain't with it. Most real men that got their life together, he ain't gonna be with it. I'm just gonna tell you, most men do. You are a reflection of who you was intimate with.
A woman, a man is not a reflection of who he was.
Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And the women that do care, I'm not using you as a standard. Most women don't care that this guy was with a bunch of bum girls. Wow. As long as it's stuff together.
A bunch of bum girls.
I'm lying?
Yeah, I think you are.
A lot of dudes that got baby mothers, their first baby mother ugly too.
That care. I think there's a lot of women that do care where you've been, who you've been with, how many kids you have. I don't think that's the standard. I don't think every woman doesn't care. Just the way you said men hold themselves to a certain standard and regard. I think a lot of women do as well. I don't think every woman is out here looking, okay, he got 3, 4 kids, 4 baby mamas, I'll take him on. I don't think that's true.
I'm gonna give you one young and then I'm gonna go older.
That's a red flag.
Shaquille O'Neal, he gets whatever he wants because of his finances. Right? Okay. Not because of his looks. NBA young boy for a young age, he got about 10 baby mothers and they still lining up for him. I can keep going with a bunch of men that have a ton of kids that literally the women don't care.
But it's financial, and I think it goes both ways on either end. I think you have men that if the woman is financially secure and she's good and he feels like, well, I don't have to come in and play dad, and he would take her on too. I think it may go both ways.
But the thing about it is when the man that has the money, he don't mind taking care of the woman. The woman that has the money, she gonna violate the man that don't have money. That's the difference. She's not gonna respect him. The man don't care that you don't got no money. Once you rich, I don't care. I don't care. I care about your submission, your respect, and how you make me feel. I don't care about your bread. What's up when a woman tell me she got a PhD? I don't care because I'm not gonna benefit from it, and nor are you willing to share it. So the reality is, in most cases. Look at the guy Stephon Diggs just had 4 kids in 1 year?
Yeah.
She said Cardi B, but look at Cardi B now. She's single.
But she gonna keep being single because again, she has to realize that Cardi B needs therapy. where she needs to get herself checked up.
Why?
Because
Therapy is
there's an
crazy.
issue that she's keep attracting these type of guys. She has an issue. Offset has 1,000 red flags. Stephon Diggs, they have a video of Stephon Diggs that went viral that said that everybody in Minnesota Vikings, they asked him, who would you not want your sister around? Everybody said Stephon Diggs. The whole damn team. This is before she messed with him. Way before. Where there's smoke, there's a fire. If everybody's saying Tyler, you better listen a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just what it is. So again, it's just being able to assess people better. I think that she may have some level of trauma that she needs to work out on herself. So I do have an empathetic spirit for her. I feel bad for her. You know what I'm saying? She definitely has issues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have a problem with choosing the wrong one. I could say that. Women, we have to be better
like
judge
bad
of
boys.
characters when it comes to these men. We have to be better. And I
all
think it
women
comes
like bad
from
Not all.
us just wanting a certain type of aesthetic of guy or wanting a certain type of guy that we keep going for that's just not good for us. So that's why he said we got to start looking at Kinsey. Yeah.
So what's the main aesthetic that most women are
Like,
looking
you gotta
at?
look at my husband.
I mean, who's Kinsey? I was just using the name
my
as an
boy.
example.
He's a good guy.
But
Very good guy. Very good guy.
Oh.
What I'm just saying is,
Sorry, Kinsey. I'm not, I don't mean to use you as a, the
See,
scapegoat,
that's how
but
I
I'm
feel.
just saying.
Somebody said we too weak and passive. Like, I'm just not doing it today.
Y'all two women are too
Bloops,
passive and weak.
BLEUX.
Don't even
I'm not
entertain
doing
it.
I
it
don't
He's-
even
this
pay
is
attention
crazy.
to the comments because you
Don't
see
even
where
do it.
y'all are. Y'all behind the screen. You see where we are. We're here. So moving on to what I was saying.
Nope. I drink champs.
What was anyway? Matter of fact, can I get a refill,
I was
please?
saying.
She getting upset, y'all. I know
See,
that.
ain't no pay-
Nobody don't pay attention to them. What was your question?
You said that
matter.
most women would.
Some people get triggered.
You guys are looking at the wrong kind of guy. Y'all should choose a Kenzie. So what are most women looking for? Like, what is that?
I think
What's
we
that
go
aesthetic,
off
that
the
main
aesthetic of men. Like we all have, like for example, I like tall, dark, and handsome. Tall, dark, and handsome men are usually toxic. So it's like
most women like that too.
right, but that is the kind of men like that would catch my eye or whatever. But sometimes I feel like we have to just step out of our comfort zone and try something different. And go for the nice guy. The nice guys are always going to treat you good.
But women don't pick the nice guys.
No,
we
we
do
never
appreciate
do.
your views, guys. I
We
love
never
y'all.
do.
Even though y'all don't agree with me all the time, it's okay.
I don't even
'cause it's a
entertain it.
debate.
Listen,
but you have to entertain it. These are
if
people.
somebody feel like they don't need to be on the live, they can keep scrolling.
But listen,
Like,
what I'm
it's
saying,
not that
I feel
serious.
like what women
You getting triggered.
like, for me personally, I don't know. I don't like I like very humble guys. I like guys that are very laid back.
I ain't say nothing.
Why are you pushing your bottom lip up like that though?
I still like him.
I like guys that are very laid back, very, very laid. I do, guys. I really do. And I like guys that are just, I don't know, I'm very simple. I like the simple things in life and just very laid back men. Yes, I do.
1 minute she
Y'all
want a
don't
very,
know
very,
me.
very raw man, and the next minute she want a laid
No, I
back
don't want
man.
to rock. I mean, I do like a man that could take control, but I like the simple things in life. I don't require, he needs to make this and he needs to make that. I don't require all of that from a man. No, I don't.
I believe you.
I don't require that.
I believe you.
Never have I. Never
I
have
believe
I
you.
required my man needs to this. I just like us to be compatible. He's understanding, I'm understanding, and we just make it work, guys. Like it's hard out here.
I think
Make it work.
most couples over time compatibility can alter because people change.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I think
Yes.
every long term, and I can only speak
Yes.
like that because I was in a relationship for 18 and a half years. And
long
I've
time.
seen change 1,000 times. We changed 1,000 times, but we adjusted. Because the only thing that truly keeps a relationship together is friendship.
Yeah.
Once you lose the friendship, you lost the relationship.
Yeah.
When you go into a relationship looking to be wowed every day, you crazy. You watch too many
Right.
movies.
Right.
Because there's days
yeah.
you're not gonna want to be with the person.
Right.
I think you fall in and out of love because
Yes.
love is a choice
Yeah.
that you're gonna consistently do.
Yes.
So this is what I'm just saying. And then you talk to people over and over and over. But like I said, you talk to some people like that be on a live. Their longest relationship is 2 years.
Right.
I don't know. I think many people have long relationship, but I think that sometimes, like you were saying before, we have expectations. To me, I don't have an expectation of a man that I can't give myself. I don't need a man to buy me this, buy me that, because I can do all of that for myself. My idea of romance is just contrary to what people might think. I'm very boring. I do like to be at home. Ask Myra. I'm very boring in what I do. I don't do a lot. I don't go out. I like to be at home. If I came home and my man had dinner made and some candles and whatever, I'm hype. I'm open like, oh my God. Because I never get that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, simple goes a long way. But if you've never had it, You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying. Don't shoot the messenger. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying, you sit down and you.
Somebody for 10 years, yeah.
Well, you know, but it's beautiful when people have long-term relationships. I do believe that society get advice from people that never even been in a long relationship.
Right.
And if they think that they're gonna be in love every day, they're crazy.
No.
I think your mother and fathers, whoever stayed married all these years, thought about leaving each other 1,000 times.
Can I ask you this, Q? What do you do to keep the intimacy in your relationship alive? Like, what are some things you do for your woman to show her that you value her, you love her, and...
Tell that that's up.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's
Got
all.
it.
But you know the crazy part is, and to just be honest with you, I feel it's funny when a man and a woman argue about how she give a man sex. That means she's not having good sex. Because if a man is giving a woman good sex, she's gonna want to have sex with him. So when a woman, when she feel like it's a duty, that means you need to get out of that relationship because you're not pleasing that woman. Step your game up. Because if your woman don't feel like it's an equal transaction, that means there's a problem there. If your woman don't be like, what? She ready just like you ready. That means she's not feeling what you're bringing to the table, fam, when it comes to sex.
So good sex is what you think that will keep a woman?
No, I do believe that good sex is a part of a healthy relationship.
I agree. That's what I just said.
What is good
Intimacy.
sex? How many times are y'all
I think
having
that's
sex
all
a week?
relative
What's
to
good
people.
sex?
But it's harder to
But
please.
in a healthy relationship, what do you think is what? So we're talking, right? We don't.
I do believe
I
that.
think
No,
pay
I do believe
attention
it's
to
hard.
the other partner's needs.
Okay.
I think. Listen, one thing about a woman's body is she's gonna tell you. She's gonna tell you. A woman's body is going to show you and tell you what she likes. So if you are a man that pays attention to detail, it is not hard to please us. It's really not. And then women, we also as women, I say we, not you, because I am a woman also. We have to be more vocal and communicating with these men and what we like. Stop faking it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Show him how to do it. Guide him how to do it. Give instructions. It's nothing wrong with stop being so embarrassed or whatever to express your sexuality and express what you like and what pleases you. We got to stop doing that. If you do that more, you'll be surprised on how much that man will surprise you.
And the truth of the matter is the reason why God wanted women to wait till marriage is because you have too many men to compare it to. As you keep comparing sex, you're going to always compare it to your best encounter. That's the problem. So when you really look at it, the women that's been outside a little bit, got a little mileage on her, she's comparing it. And men also. When men are comparing women is because they've been with too many women. But I do believe that men are easier to please sexually than women.
Could it really?
Let me say this, when a woman's been promiscuous.
Could it really be too many men, or maybe you? Because I disagree with that. You maybe just had that one great partner that they set the bar so high that now, and that doesn't come from being promiscuous. You just had that one.
It's sometimes
that
this could be the
took you
case.
there and took
but
you
most
through
cases,
there.
it's
Now
because you was outside.
Not take me through there.
No,
You was outside.
no, I don't.
Yeah,
I
but
disagree.
intimacy. I think sex is way more than just sex. I feel like there's
Right.
sex and there's intimacy. I feel like good sex is not just two people. I feel good. It's emotional. It's deeper than just
Because
to me.
that good sex could come from one person. That not five people. That one person, like I said, that took you through there. Now, when you have maybe that second person, that person has set a bar so high
That's
for
what
you.
you said. You comparing.
But I'm gonna be honest with you.
Doesn't come from.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
promiscuous-
When you said that,
being
take me through there. We said
take me through there.
But most women ain't the woman we date that it took us through there.
That's a fact.
You ain't the heat of all heats that he hit.
The heat of all heat is great.
9 out of 10 times is the heat that we hit is the little daddy. We just chose the best overall woman. But in reality, you ain't the one that gave it to us crazy. It's the woman that we settle for is because we can see ourselves building something with her.
So you think most men settle?
Hell yeah. Most women settle too. Because if you're not settled, that means you believe that's something out there better for you. The term settling, people use that term in a wrong term. Settling is accepting, right? So a woman has to accept, a man has to accept. When they be like, I settle for him, I'm like, he settled for you too. It's just what it is. Like, society is just weird. Like, the world is just so weird. Like, it's just so weird. They blow things out of context. They say the most foolish things. They don't even think logical. When you look at it, settling is a two-way street. Because as a man, he's settling for you just like you settling for him.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
It's just what it is.
It's all a compromise.
100%.
I got
Everything's a
one
compromise.
question for the panel and for the comments.
I don't want the comments. I don't want the comments.
Yeah, we don't
Continue.
deal with them.
Yeah.
Do you think a relationship is an addiction? And you know, addiction all got side effects.
I do. I think a lot of people are codependent and they need to be with somebody.
That's toxic.
I think naturally, I'm just saying, I'm saying what I think. I think a lot of people have this codependent personality that a lot of people feel like being alone is so depressing. It's so, not all, I'm not saying all guys, but I do think a lot of people do think that we need somebody to give us value, to make us feel, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I think sometimes people would, when you're starving, you'll settle for crumbs. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to have something. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion. So I feel like, yeah.
It could become an addiction too. And that's why everybody got to learn to spend time with themselves.
Yeah.
100%.
You got to learn to love on yourself and be okay with being alone. Because once you can be alone and you enjoy your own company, that's when that codependency starts to ease up. It becomes an addiction for certain people because they always used to, like Shay said, being with someone.
Nobody want to be alone, though.
Nobody wants to be alone, but you always have to take time for yourself.
Yeah,
like
of
you
course.
said, you get out of a relationship, you want to jump into the next one. That's never going to give you time to heal and to figure out yourself. So
I
that's
agree.
why we always got to sit in that room by ourselves in the
100%.
dark, figure
100%.
ourselves
What's
out.
the longest time y'all ever took from a relationship to be by yourself?
Well, I can't really say I dated.
I think it was like
I was with
7
my
years.
wife for so long. Like, I was with my wife so long. You know, I've with her from childhood and adulthood. You understand what I'm saying?
Did you jump into a next relationship?
No, I
immediately
gave myself
after?
time, like 2 years.
Okay.
Mine was
Nothing.
7.
No.
But I will say
7
when you go
years.
through a divorce, as you know, it didn't happen today. So if you were married for 10 years, believe you me, y'all probably were divorced 3 years ago psychologically. Whether y'all chose to step out or not,
Right.
there was already, the grieving stage already passed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you already going through it all already, the motions. You know, most people don't just wake up and divorced.
I don't even address the comments. I don't even do this. But someone said, why do women twerk on each other?
All of
wouldn't
my
care.
friends
We
are lesbians.
twerk on each other because
They're
y'all
always
don't
twerking on each other.
dance. Men don't. No, y'all do not dance. When y'all go out, y'all all stand around with y'all bottles and take snaps and take Instagram. Y'all don't dance. It be a million women on the dance floor and nobody takes the initiative. We grew up in house party eras. We grew up in basement party eras where we would go to a party and you went to dance.
Yeah, but some of the dances y'all do is too much. Like, it's some women out
Who's
here that
y'all?
just be doing a lot when they go out. And I'm like,
but
girl,
I'm just
sit
addressing
in
their
a corner.
question. Like, why do women
Sit
twerk on each
down.
other?
Like,
Like
you
that
doing
was
a
so
lot.
off topic, but I just feel like
Some
why
people
you
be
see
doing
an
a lot when they
influx?
go out dancing, y'all.
Hey, but you know, today's society is weird.
Not me. I
It's
know
weird.
I know
Girl,
she's lying.
this girl?
She's
Ooh,
lying.
ooh,
Don't
child.
believe her.
You know the one thing I do want to get back to the topic and say this though?
Yes.
I do believe that a lot of people that say they happy being alone, they lying.
No one's happy
Of
being
course.
alone. Everyone wants
the reason, I'm
somebody.
gonna tell you why I say that though. The reason why I truly believe that a person that say that they happy being alone is a defense mechanism that they have created to deal with their situation. A lot of the times, I'm happy being alone. You lying. You lying.
Nobody
And
wants to
it-
be alone.
And the reality is, a true healthy relationship is more so about building a companion. After you get over 50 years old, you should be looking for just somebody to live the rest of your days out with. You talking about you want a mansion. You damn near 60 years old. You should be really trying to
Okay, but you
enjoy
can
your
still
days.
want- you don't get
I'm not
to
saying that.
dictate
You
what
should be
someone
trying to
wants.
enjoy your days.
So why you making 50 sound like the
Because
end? Like, enjoy
I'm not
your
saying that
days.
the average man life expectancy is 76 to 78 years old. If I'm 60 years old, that means I technically have 16 more years. I've worked hard all of those years. I think we should be trying to worry about how we retired, how we're gonna enjoy the rest of our labor and our life. Not talking about I'm not trying to take on new adventures financially at 60 years old. I'm trying to chill now. You're supposed to do all the work when you're young so you can enjoy it when you're older. You're not supposed to do the work when you're older. You want a Bentley and a Ferrari, you're 65 years old. It sounds like you're trying to live a childhood that you never had already. You're supposed to be enjoying your life, setting up your children to take over and go on to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Where's your successor? Your son was your male successor. Your daughter was to be your successor.
Right.
So if you did the right job, you ain't got to be trying to do all that at no 65 years old. I want a mansion. We got 11 years maybe on earth, God willing. Come on, you should have been sorry. You should have been about that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, today's society, we don't have compassion for the male and the females. We tend to believe that. The world is in a bad space.
Somebody said, but why can't someone be happy by themselves? I don't think you can't, Janaya. I just think that everyone wants companionship, no? I feel like everybody kind of wants a level of companionship, no, guys? Like, are you happy with being by yourself forever? How many people can say, listen, if I'm by myself forever, I'm cool?
I'm going to answer Raven's question.
What did Raven say?
She said, Q, why did him and his wife break up? I'm going to answer that. The reason why me and my wife broke up, because after so long, we realized that we were bonded by trauma. Right? I was bonded because I was emotionally attached to her family because I didn't have the aesthetics that she grew up with. So at 18 years old, when I got with her, I fell in love with her family. And as we got older, we realized that we really didn't have much in common. And every time we would argue, she wasn't really forgiving. For instance, she was very, very educated, and she didn't have the level of compassion of understanding, like, yo, he come from certain traumas. That's where you have to have grace with your mate. For instance, when you look at a person that's being lazy or this, you ever thought they might be depressed? You ever try to take that person to therapy, whether male or female? There are people that haven't gotten over trauma and they're grown as hell because a lot of people haven't been given the grace to even understand what's going on with them. They've learned to accept this as a normality. A lot of people don't understand that.
Thank you, Blow. Grace, 1 minute you use grace or accountability. 1 minute you say that you should have noticed the red flags. Then you say that you should give grace. Like,
no. I'm not talking about. I'm talking. If a person, you have a person that works.
Okay.
They're just not as motivated as you. If I count my motivation, everybody, I think that 99% of the world is lazy. If I take my motivation and made me the standard, I think 99% of the world is lazy. But if a person can pay their own bills,
99%,
they have
that's
their
a
own,
big number.
That's how I truly feel. I feel like I fall in the 1% when it comes to work ethic.
Oh.
I'm being honest.
Okay.
I created 10 streams of income. The average person had created one, and they're comfortable with one. So I think I can talk like that because I have receipts to back what I say. I know for a fact most people don't have that work ethic like me. I don't even make excuses. I don't even believe in that. That is foreign to me. Get it done. Let's go to work. Let's figure it out. Tyler, you with me every day. I don't believe in that. We don't retreat. We don't surrender. We fight. What are you running from? What are you complaining about? That's how I talk to my men around me. I don't want to hear it. We men. Let's figure it out. That's how these men, they haven't had these kind of men around them. I told you the best thing that happened to me is when I got my mentor, who's like a father figure to me. I yelled at my wife one day, my ex-wife. I yelled at her crazy. I walked out the house. I said, I told her. He looked at me and said, I didn't know who the woman was. And when I walked out the house, I said, what you mean by that? He said, I don't know who the woman was. Because the way you were screaming in there, I would have thought you was the woman. And it changed my ideology because I respected him so much. But every man I grew around, all they did was argue. I own multiple houses. I own multiple businesses, guys. Every home you have is considered LLC. And every house that's in the LLC has its own stream of income. You understand? We ain't got to go into that. We do that. I'm going to do a financial episode soon. What I'm saying, when you sit down and have these conversations, I didn't know no better because I never saw any better. The men I saw, they argue with women. They were combative, aggressive. When I learned that actually having great self-control is the true essence of a man. A man that can control himself in a hostile situation is actually the greatest man on earth. That's the greatest man on earth. But it took me a while to realize that. And a lot of times we thought, no, he said, you speak solely from ego because you must be broke. When you tell the truth, they get offended. I tell the truth. You get offended over, if I tell my truth, how is that ego? It's my truth. But that's what society is. Is if it triggers in them, that's what the men we dealing with today. They're like little. They got no motion. If I sit next to a millionaire, he tell me, yo, this weekend me and my wife was on my yacht, I'm inspired.
Right.
Because I'm trying to get me a yacht right now.
Right.
I'm not gonna get envious or jealous. That's what you see today's society. God will never bless a person who do not put other people in position to win.
That's right.
And they don't understand it.
I agree.
Like, to whom much is given, much is required. Living in your truth is living in your truth. It's just what it is, because it offends you because you're sitting there mad as hell at your single income.
So
It's not my problem.
every time me living on my truth, you have a problem?
No, I don't have a problem. I just feel like with you, and this is me and honest, I just think you need to live in your truth as far as who you are as a person. I think that you are a great leader, and I'm not.
Already.
And that's it.
Like,
that's the only issue I have with you. It's because you keep trying to find somebody that's going to out-masculine you, and I don't see it. Because if me and you was in the house, we would have moved every piece of furniture in this house with each other.
Facts.
I'm just being honest. So I'm telling you, as a masculine, would you consider me masculine? Do you think I'm a good leader?
I do.
And I would tell you, as a masculine leader, I wouldn't find myself attracted to you. It's because I just know that we're too alike. So my opposite will be more feminine energy. And when I see a guy who says he's a masculine energy, dating a masculine energy, he ain't masculine. Somebody lying. Somebody just loud and aggressive. Somebody capping. Somebody don't like responsibility.
Strong woman needs to date what? What is my perfect man? Give me a man.
The man that's willing to allow you to lead.
So he needs to be gay?
What?
I'm just saying, you said it's not a masculine
I said the
energy.
man
So what is
that's
he?
willing to allow you to lead.
Okay.
Like I said, we got to go for roles. Feminine and masculine it don't about male or female. It's about leadership.
Okay.
It's roles. It's just what it is. Just what it is. All right?
Well,
what do you have to add, Mary? You sound like you had something to say.
You got something good.
Somebody said he just insulted her husband. Can't tell.
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with that. Again, when you really sit down and evaluate life, there are roles. There are some women that are great leaders.
Thank you.
We just said we're not dealing in comments and you still doing it.
A real man is not going to
read
allow her
what they
to
say
lead
something bad
him.
about you. Then
Cute,
we got
but you read off a comment too.
No, I
Be
didn't.
nice.
I said,
but these are your followers. Be nice.
Who cares?
Oh, that's me.
yeah.
Who cares? It'll make sense. Some people sitting there triggered as hell, mad as hell. Like, you can't talk to a person that's triggered and emotional. They're triggered.
Mr. Hug, the one with the booze hiver. Hey, Mr. Swag.
Everybody has their own opinion.
I'm going to give you an Instagram.
Everyone has their own opinions. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, but again, like, we have to set a standard. Today, I was telling y'all earlier before we got on here, I genuinely believe that I don't want to just go by a man anymore. I read the standard of a king. And why I say that is because my village say so. She asked me earlier, what makes you a king? I said, if you go to the people you live, you look around that you respect all the women in the house, they feel so, and all of them strong. The issue is like, you say, oh, my woman owns her own house. My woman bought a house since she was 24 years old. My woman makes 6 figures. My woman got her own bread. My woman got her own everything. But she still don't want to be a man. My woman is comfortable being feminine. The difference is being strong don't make you feminine. Right? A lot of the times people misconstrue strong with being overly aggressive, which is a lot of women these days. They're not strong, they're just aggressive. They think that makes them strong. That don't make you strong because you can yell and scream and roar and I'll do this. You sound crazy. That's called being delusional. Being strong is knowing how, a good leader is great at delegating for one. We able to say, yo, Dre, you good at this? Yo, do that. Yo, Tyler, do that. That's a good leader. And that's what society, everyone feels like being aggressive makes you strong. 9 out of 10 aggressive people are weak as hell. They're weak, whether male or female. They're weak because they don't even make sense. You don't even have self-control. How are you a good leader? You don't have self-control.
Right.
So you said when a woman when she's a natural leader, that makes her have masculine energy, right?
Masculinity is 100% based on leadership.
So you can't be a good leader and be feminine?
Read it off, Tyler. But I'm going to let you read it. He's going to read it off to you. It's just roles.
No, I'm asking you. You can't be a good leader and also have feminine energy?
I think feminine energy could have leadership qualities, but I think the overall decision, the leader is the person that's willing to go down when the ship ain't doing well. If you only celebrating when y'all winning championships, but you ain't celebrating when y'all losing, you ain't a good leader. So you say, I'm a good leader, but you cry about all the responsibilities of being a leader. So are you really a good leader? Are you really a good leader? All you do is complain about all the things that you do as a leader, which makes you not a good leader. You're the captain of the team, but y'all don't want to play defense. What? Lead us. Show us. You're supposed to motivate your team. Go ahead.
So I think they confuse masculinity and manliness.
Yes.
So masculinity
That's what they do wrong.
is the social, culture, and historical set of behaviors that are associated, including strength, leadership, and independence.
That's what masculinity is.
But they
They
misconstrue
keep thinking
manliness.
it's being a man. People got to start reading, learning their definitions. That's what it is. Now read up what feminine is. I'm telling you, masculinity is not a male or a woman thing. It's a way of behavior. It's not a man or female thing. Everyone think that a man is. There's a lot of men that aren't masculine.
Femininity refers to the set of cultural behavior
Submission.
roles and attributes traditionally associated with nurturing, sensitivity, empathy, and grace.
And when a man is like that, that means he's more feminine. It don't make him a female. People don't know the difference of the two. They keep thinking that a guy is gay because he's more feminine. No. He's more of a nurturer. He's more loving. He's more compassionate. And the woman that's more masculine, it don't make her a man. She's just a better leader. That's all it is. It's just what it is. They don't know the difference.
You've contradicted yourself a lot today, Q, but that's neither here nor there.
I said it 15 times that masculinity and femininity
is the same. I really do think you have contradicted yourself a lot, but we've been on.
That's what they keep saying.
No,
I said it 45 times that masculine energy does not make you a male or female. It don't make you a male or female.
Yeah.
But again, people watch social media and they tell them what they want to tell them. I'm saying it is what it is.
Okay. No, listen. I'm not. Listen, it's okay. I just think he's contradicted himself a little bit, but it's okay. We're gonna let.
So I said masculine energy is a male thing? Because we're going to review this tape, and I'm going to show you that I never said that. And I put $100,000 on it. Matter of fact, I put $1,000 on it right now. I put $1,000. No, I put $1,000 on it right now.
Keep the $100,000.
No, I don't want to talk crazy.
You're so strong and you're so
convicted. Now again, so let's do the, you going to match it? Say yes. And I bet you my life right now that I never said that. Masculine energy, I said, is not a male or a female thing. It's not. And I know that to be a fact because I know great masculine women who are great leaders. It's a leadership. It's a certain position that you take in a relationship. Some women are great leaders. They're just good at it. And there are some men that are just great leaders. It doesn't mean because you're male or female that you're gonna be a good leader. It means how you were raised. How you were raised. You have to teach a leader how to be a leader. You have to pour into their confidence. Leadership comes with confidence. In order to be a good leader, I gotta be confident. So if, let's say hypothetically, I never let you speak up for yourself, more than likely, you're less likely to be a good leader. But if a person that got to speak up for themselves more, they're more likely to be more outgoing. They're more willing to take consequences for failing. Most not good leaders, they don't even like losing. They don't even like failing. They hate failing. When things are not going the way they want, the first thing they do is they tuck their tail. So how are you a good leader when you tuck your tail? I know women who will stand on the front line and go to war. Go to war. I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about with a company. Go to war. And they with the smoke. Win, lose, or draw. They with it. So that's a great leader. That's all I'm saying. It's not a masculine, feminine thing. I thought that years ago. It's just what it is.
I want you to go back and review when you talked about the island that the women built, and when you talked about the infrastructure was built by male. And I want you to go back and review that. I'm not going to take your money. I'm going to let you keep it. But I want you to go back to what you said and review when you talked about masculine and female energy and what most women want to be versus men. And then we'll come back and talk about that next time.
Okay, again, you can have a whole island of females that are very feminine, right? When you take on a role and you keep delegating people to do roles, then that means you're not a great leader. So 1 minute, the lady that started that island, she was a feminist. Y'all know the story, right? Kizzy, come talk on the mic because I know you know the story better than anybody else. No, you told us the story. Come tell us the story again. Okay, but he said the woman, she was a feminist. She created an island for only women. She had the men come in and build the island. And after she had the men build the island, she kicked all the men off the island. And then something ended up happening. Don't quote me. Something ended up happening that she had to call men back in to come fix the problem. And then she kicked them off the island again. What I'm trying to get at is, if a man thinks he don't need a woman, something is wrong with him. If a woman don't think she need a man, something is wrong with her. Because they are weird. Because if you need two to create life, you need two to raise life. If you need two to do anything, you need two. It's just what it is. It's just what it is.
Yeah,
it was the plumbing. It was the plumbing. The plumbing got messed up, and they called the man in to come fix the plumbing. It's just what it is. But again, society is weird. If y'all want to live in your delusion in your little box, God bless you. And you're going to see that you're going to wake up 65 years old blaming men and blaming women, but not looking at yourself in the mirror. And that's the issue when you're dealing with today's society. People aren't accountable.
Agreed.
They're not accountable. There are people that are not dateable. They shouldn't be in relationships. They need to be single. They're crazy as hell. All right? Anybody got something to say before we get out of here today?
This was a great show.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, guys. I love the audience. I love to read you guys' comments. I think you guys were very engaged, and yeah, I love it. I love coming on and debating with my brother. This was a good
yes, this
episode.
was very good.
And I do appreciate y'all for commenting. It goes so fast that I can't even read half of it, but shout out to the followers.
A lot of y'all
I
are
think you
miserable
need
in
the
the
followers.
comments, but it is what it is.
Say that again?
I said a lot of them are miserable in the comments, but it is what it is. You
Yeah,
take
but
the
we
good with
need
the
you guys.
bad.
So I
We
appreciate
need the
it.
miserable
I appreciate it
ones.
regardless.
Thanks.
You don't have to agree with me. I'm okay with you
Right.
disagreeing with me. It poses for good debate, and good debate doesn't mean we always have to be incongruent. Sometimes you
right.
need people to disagree, so that's
right.
fine. I appreciate it.
Very much appreciative.
I say we got out of here.
I would just say, guys, just take care of yourself this week. Check in with yourself. Check in with your mental health, your physical health. Mm-hmm. Just always, because if you're not okay, you can't take care of those that are around you that you have to take care of. So I just always say this week, just focus on taking care of yourself, your mental health, and doing something nice for yourself this week. I'll leave y'all with that.
I love it. Well, today's conversation was actually a great conversation. We talked about a lot of different factors, but at the same time, men and women have different outlooks on life, but the conclusion is we do need each other.
Yeah.
In society, we told that we don't need each other, and the reason why is because of the fact that there's somebody miserable teaching you something miserable. The unhealthy person is teaching you unhealthy. The way we eat, the way we talk, the way we behave, it was all preconditioned by someone who came before you. And then when you sit here and listen to the life, a lot of the times we don't look at ourselves and hold ourselves accountable. Men will blame women for the woman that they chose to get intimate with, and not only get intimate with, but have children with. Women will get mad at the men that they give in intimacy with and also life to. But yet and still they don't want to see themselves. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, until we start looking at ourselves, we're gonna always talk about what somebody else has done other than what we're doing. And as long as we continue this behavior, we're gonna continue to be the problem. Before y'all get out of here, I want him to read this real quick. Give him the mic. Somebody, one of y'all say it? Go ahead. What is that? Go ahead, Kenzie.
Super She Island was a female-owned private island resort exclusively for women located off the coast of Finland in the Baltic Sea. The island is administratively located in the town of Rasborg, Finland, while the Super She community is global.
That's the island he's talking about.
Thank you, G-Man. Blame will never create change.
Man off? That's
I didn't
crazy.
know he was.
That's mad disrespectful.
After
I didn't know he
purchase,
was going still.
male construction workers were working on the island to lay lines for power and water and gut renovation. That was the only time men were allowed on the island besides Ross's close friends and family.
So what I'm trying to say is, again, what's killing society is the over-masculine men and the feminist movement. It's killing culture. It's killing society. I'm gonna call it what it is. I'm an anti-super masculine man and I'm anti-feminist. I'm anti. I think it's diabolical. And when a woman stand up in a man's face and think that she's a man, something wrong with her. And when a man thinks that he could be a woman, something is wrong with him. I'm gonna call it what it is. I don't care who gets mad. Cause I gotta live in my truth. It's just what it is. Till next time, guys.
Till next time, guys.
Don't let that go over your head.